Okay, I'm going to be playing in the MTGO Super Saturday. It's the Penny Dreadful tournament with 4,900 play points and prizes. So like 500 for the pre-supplemental rotation. I'm going to be bringing Azorius Control because I think it's one of the best decks in the format. The worst matchups I think are definitely just aggro in general, mostly Legends. Because they have Thalia, they have Kithian, they have Senu, they have Flowering. And they're just really good at beating Wraths. Because Thalia is really good, Senu dodges it, Kithian gains Indestructible or is a Planeswalker. They just have so many ways, and like Thalia and Flowering can make it hard to remove things. Like if they're on the play, there's kind of nothing I can do. Unless I get like a really good Joust through other removal Wrath draw or something. So I'm really hoping to not face that too many times. Other aggro is also a problem, like Reddick Winds and Bard class. But yeah, I'm mostly just hoping to dodge aggro. URG Cascade, I feel like I'm actually favored into because I have Shackles. And they kind of can't beat that because Challenger is their main way of winning. Like it's really the only card that beats me in their deck. And if I Shackle it, it doesn't really do anything. So I am definitely sideboarding for aggro with Loxodon Peacekeeper as just a 2-mana 4/4, because big creatures tend to be really good against aggro, better than removal spells. Gisela, I was playing Boombringer Valkyrie, which is basically just a Baneslayer. But because most lists are on Azorius rather than Boros, I think I'm allowed to play a 3 toughness creature that dies to Chain Lightning, because most of them just aren't on it. Just aren't on red. Though it definitely makes like my red deck matchup worse, but that isn't very popular, I think. So I think I have a very good matchup into combo. I haven't faced World Gorger Dragon, but against other decks I just countered their things with like Mana Leak, Negate, whatever. And then I do have some relevant sideboard cards for most of them, although I did remove Purify the Grave from my deck, so there's that. But I think we have 50 players. So, and there are no buys, like in the 500. So if I want to win, I'm actually going to have to go like 5-1 in the Swiss. But yeah. Alright, it is round 1. Unfortunately, I removed the Graveyard Hate from my sideboard, and I'm pretty sure my opponent is on World Gorger Dragon. So that's not great. This is not looking the best. I mean, I do have like Heliod's Intervention and counter spells in the sideboard, which are fine, I guess. So I am dead to a turn 2 kill, which it's not really looking like, so that's good. What do I play? I guess it's Serum. I would have loved to have this on turn 1. This farmland. I guess I keep that. I would have loved to have drawn it first, but that's fine. I mean, I can't counter anything on turn 3, so that's kind of a problem, but I do represent a Mana Leak, so they probably play around it. And it looks like they're missing a land drop. Maybe? I don't know why they didn't play Serum first. So I guess maybe they didn't miss a land drop? I don't know. Oh yeah, I guess I'm not representing... I don't know why I keep tapping like that. Okay. This isn't... Wait, I still can't hold up a counterspell if I play a land drop. So I'm pretty sure I'm not dead. Okay, I am dead to Drit, potentially. I am definitely dead to an Animate Dead, if they resolve it now. So, I'm not going to Timeless. I could definitely die to a Spell Pierce right now. Yeah, it looks like I'm dead. I'm dead to a Mana Leak, I'm dead to a lot of things. any kind of counterspell, really. A second animate dead? That's what it looks like. Yes, so I am in fact dead. I'm not going to make them play it out because I don't think they're ever going to time out. If I thought they had a chance of timing out, I would have made them play it out. I think it also just doesn't really take that long since you don't actually need to make mana. So, what's bad? Any kind of removal. I do need to check if they're playing like Malcolm. Okay, so it looks like they play 0 creatures and 0 ways to win outside of World Gorger. Outside of the combo. So, I don't really need any kind of removal at all. I could play Will because it's a flash threat. That's probably bad. Like, even D-Sphere is just pretty much dead. Like, I guess that answers Defense Grid. So, I could try to play, like, a Rune Halo, because it can name the land. It can name Stroke of Genius. I feel like that's not a... No, Stroke of Genius, they just draw their own deck. So, I don't think that works. Nevermore is great. Rads do nothing. Yeah, there are a lot of dead cards because they just don't have anything to do other than World Gorger, I think. So, what am I playing? Like, Shackles, I mean, it does do something, right? Wait, does it even do anything? Like, you steal World Gorger. Wait, does it? I don't know if stealing World Gorger does anything. Not that it matters. I feel like it doesn't do anything, but I don't know exactly what World Gorger Dragon text is. I guess I play Rune Halo. Needle... I guess I name Wishclaw Talisman. Okay. Yeah, I really wish I didn't get rid of the Purify the Grave or whatever I was playing. Okay, that's a good hand. It definitely needs to find some lands at some point. I do need to check if I have anything else I can needle. Okay, so it looks like Wishclaw is the only thing that I can needle that does anything. So, I named that. Do I counter an unmarked grave? I feel like yes, because it's pretty difficult for them to put it in their graveyard without playing the unmarked grave. And I also want to play around like Defense Grid, so Duress. That's fine here. Yeah, I feel like I'm just going to lose because I don't know, I needed to win game 1, I think. And like now my hand is just not enough. Like it works for now, but with the current hand I have, I feel like it's going to be very difficult to do things in the late game. Like I'm just not going to hit land drops. I'm not going to accelerate into land drops and counter spells, which is a pretty big problem. I am not going to counter that. Okay. So I really need, I guess like dig through time, maybe if I found some cantrips first. Serum Visions would be good, Ancestral would be okay, though it would have been a lot better earlier. I wonder if they have any hate for Needle. I saw that they have Cyclonic Rift in the side, but I kind of doubt they would bring it in. So what I really want to see in this matchup is Nevermore. I think that's really the only card that kind of locks them out. And if they don't have Cyclonic Rift, they just have no way to answer it. Okay, so if I survive until Ancestral, I should win. Since they don't have their land drops, it's very hard for them to beat one counterspell, so that's really good for me. They also might just not have the combo because they can't use the Wish Claw. I guess Detention Sphere is actually pretty decent here because if I have like 5 mana, like if they have to fight to resolve their defense grid, I can just use 3 mana on Detention Sphere and then have 2 mana up for Mana Leak or Negate. I do have to counter a Hand Tate because there's no reason not to. So what are they druiding out here? I'm not sure. Unmarked Grave. If they have Spell Pierce, Animate Dead, I'm dead. That's really the only thing they can have. Do I just not counter? Because right now, if they just have like a Mana Leak, and I play Absorb, that's bad for me. But if they don't, well, if they don't have the ability to play Animate Dead, well, if I just let this resolve and they don't have Animate Dead, that's pretty bad for them because they wasted their Drit. And if they have a Mana Leak, they're going to resolve it regardless. But I feel like I should counter this. I don't know. But like, what if they have another Unmarked Grave? I guess I do this anyway. They probably do have some kind of counter. Negate. Yeah, maybe I should have just let that resolve. Because they obviously don't have Animate Dead plus Pierce. So it would have been better to let that resolve. So I'm dead to a Drit. I'm dead to a land, Animate Dead, Negate. So I really just need to survive until this. Jace, that is not going to do anything. I mean, it could be relevant if I was allowed to tap out. Like, I guess if I said I was going to find a land, it would be good. But, like, if they just have a counter spell, they could just counter it and then just play Animate Dead, and they win. If I had an extra land, I definitely would play it, though. I'm gonna check to see how many, like, Spearses they run. Okay, so in their latest list, they had 2 Spears main, 2 Spears side, 1 Negate side as their only counter spells. So I guess if I just play around Spell Pierce, I can kind of just win. So I guess that means I definitely shouldn't play Jace here because, yeah. Cyclonic Rift. That's fine. If they tutor here, they can't really protect it. Like, they have to have a land. Or it doesn't matter. So let's see. Like, if they just find Animate Dead, they can't do anything. I know about the Mana Leak, so I don't know why they did that. Like, if they just use it and then pass, I just use it and then Needle. Or I could Detention Sphere potentially. I probably wouldn't do that. Oh, that is unfortunate. I guess I could be... Oh, I am dead if I have a black source and an Animate Dead. Yeah, I'm dead. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Wait, they don't have either. Okay. So they don't have Animate Dead in hand. No, no, they're just playing around a counterspell, right? Like, they kind of expect me to have something. So it definitely doesn't mean that they don't have either. Like, I could try to say they don't have Animate Dead. And, like, I feel like they should have gone for it if they had Animate Dead, but... yeah, they definitely could have been playing around a counterspell. Okay, that's really good for me. Okay, so I have nothing up. Spell Pierce? I have to pay for that. I don't think they can ever win through this right now. Yeah, like there's no way they beat this. Like there is actually no way they can win here, right? They would have to top deck something. And even then, like... I guess if they had... So their 3 cards could be Animate Dead, Dark Ritual, Cyclonic Rift. So they would need to have 2 of those if they wanted to win. Okay, that's really good. They're F6ing. So I definitely have this game locked up. I just don't have enough cards to make anything happen. This Nevermore is really powerful. Okay, Repeal also, Hate for Animate Dead. I actually can just play Jace here. I probably should be using the -2, but it doesn't really matter. So I have that Needled. I could go D-Sphere. I always take Serum. Because I have the land. If I didn't draw the land, I probably would take the Whale. Actually, I maybe take the Whale, just because it can attack. That was the wrong land, it doesn't matter. I take 2 for sure. I could repeal the Jace, that's probably a bad play because it answers Animate Dead. So Defense Grid doesn't even do anything at all here because even if it resolves, it just doesn't matter because I can just pay extra. I guess I do Eternalize the Timeless here. And then just counter everything that moves. Okay. Wait, they didn't even have Animate Dead in hand. Or they would have at least gone for it, even through this. They would have at least tried. Right. Okay, I don't think it really... Like, nothing I could add to my deck changes anything. Like, I guess Whale is better than Gisela. But, like, nothing in my sideboard does a single thing. Because they just don't have any creatures that matter. I can't play sorcery creatures. Like, I'm never going to even come close to clocking them before they can kill me. If I'm playing a Gisela. Like, I guess I could play it on turn 6 or 8 or whatever. Okay, I have a Nevermore. I'm keeping this. I could die on turn 2. I could die to duress. Oh, I might die to duress. Serum, okay. I feel like, would they have played duress if they had it? Maybe? Like, they had a land drop, so they didn't need to play Serum right away. Maybe they, like, waiting with duress is generally better, though. Okay, so they don't get either of, so they don't get their unmarked grave down. That's interesting. Serum. So, do they ever just activate Wishclaw? Like, what do I get? I guess I get a counterspell, I get a Nevermore. I mean, I can't really play Nevermore if they don't tap out, because they just Pierce it. If it's not turn 5. Another Wishclaw? I guess I let that resolve, because I... Maybe I shouldn't have let that resolve. That may have been a punt. Well, I guess... like... They can just find an answer to Nevermore. But it's not a permanent answer, it's just a bounce spell. So, I don't know, I guess I name Unmarked Grave. So they can't just like play Unmarked Grave, tutor a Cyclonic Rift. I don't think they have any other way of putting World Gorger in the yard. Like, they can technically discard. I feel like they don't really have any ways to discard World Gorger. Like, maybe they're playing a 1-of for Wishclaw, and that could be a problem, but I don't know. And, like, yeah, I guess Nevermore is just terrible here if they can discard in another way, because they don't even have to remove it at all. Okay, that is not good. That is very bad. This could be a problem. Like, I can't even really use their Wishclaw because... I don't know. Yeah, because, like, they would just... Do I even use Surge? I might just deduce twice. Pretend I have something. It's like, if they use Wishclaw and I use Wishclaw, like, I find a counterspell, they find a duress, and they just cancel out. Or, like, a defense grid. So... I'm dead. I'm pretty sure I'm dead. Like, they could find Drit and a piece. They could find whatever. I guess if they have actual nothing currently in their hand, then they can't win. But otherwise, I'm dead. Like, if they have either Drit, so they have Drit, so they have lethal. Like, they actually just have lethal right now. Oh, they already have unmarked. So, I need to find a mana leak right now, or a negate, or I die. It's leak? Do I play it now? So, if I play leak, they leave up... If they have a counter, I die regardless. I can't let them tutor, though. And they already played a land? No, they haven't played a land. That doesn't matter, I think. I think I have to leak right now. I'm dead. So, I think I actually do survive right now, unless they have something in their hand. Like, if they have any piece in their hand, they win, because... Like, if they have Animate Dead in their hand, they can go tutor Drit, tutor Unmarked Grave, and then that just wins. They pay for it? Wait, you can use that at instant speed. Oh, I forgot about that. Could I have changed anything? Like, I was dead if I didn't mana leak there, right? Regardless of what they had? Wait. So, they have to have... Wait, if they already had Animate Dead, it didn't matter, so... That doesn't change anything. Yeah, I was dead regardless. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, I am just dead. Because they could have just found Drit and Unmarked Grave, so it didn't matter. Alright, round 2. I'm in losers. Hopefully my opponent is on mono blue. They could be on something else, like Legends. So hopefully it's not that. This hand is pretty good against most things. Against Legends it's a little questionable, but 2 Serum Visions does get there usually. It usually finds a functional hand. The Deuce is not so good against Legends. Oh, that's... Do I keep that? I don't know what I'm facing. If I knew I was against mono blue, I would keep Ancestral. But if it's not mono blue, Ancestral is terrible. It's basically a dead card. And if I'm against aggro, I really want to hold up Mana Leak on 2. And it is aggro, so I made the right choice. And I mostly made that choice because if it's mono blue, I feel like I win the matchup regardless. And if it's Legends, then it really matters what I do. So I counter a Thalia or a Flowering or whatever. Wait, did they? Okay, yeah, it's not Senu. That's good. So I go Serum. I guess I just do that again. I probably should have played the Mystic Gate because of the show land. Port Town. So hopefully they will play a creature or Flowering or whatever, and not just use the ability. So let's see. Could be a Thalia again. Probably not, because they would have played it pre-combat to avoid getting whaled. Karizev, I will counter that. Kinda shows that I don't have a Wrath, but that's fine. I'll just draw one. Okay, Repeal is great. If they play a Flowering or Activate, I get to just say no to their attack. Flowering, so I do have to Repeal right now. And they will just replay that, I think. Okay, so I have the answer to it. And then I go Trawler and end the game, hopefully. Jouster, that works too. So I think I should just win this one. Being on the play was so important here. Like, I would just lose if I was on the draw. Because they would have just gone Thalia, and then I wouldn't be able to do anything. So yeah, it was entirely play-draw dependent. Which is how the matchup usually goes. If you're on the play, and you're prepared for the matchup, you know, you don't have a terrible hand, you usually win. If you don't, or you're on the draw, you lose. And like sometimes if you have a really good hand of removal, you can win on the draw, but it's pretty rare, I think. Like you have to have a really good hand. But now I am guaranteeing that I have a post-board game on the play, or I don't have to win a post-board game on the draw. I can just wait until game 3 to win on the play, to win the match. So winning game 1 is really important in this matchup. Okay, and my opponent just has nothing. Like, their creatures are bigger than my Trawler, so that is something, but they just have nothing, so it doesn't matter. And Jouster is dead. So maybe I should have played Jouster because they're... No, I couldn't have played Jouster. It wouldn't have worked. But yeah, their creatures are bigger than my Trawler, so... It's not completely over. I could play Whale. I would rather not. I don't know why I tapped like that. D-Sphere. Interesting. Okay, I'll just attack. I guess I may be using the Clue, or maybe I just go D-Sphere the Force, and then hold up Joust through. I guess that's what I do. Wait, does that work? No. Yes, that always works. Because even if they make it a... Because at best they can make it a 5-3 double strike. I can always kill that. And then I can two-shot my opponent. I assume they're going to be activating. Well, I guess since they were going to use it during combat, it might have worked to just remove the flowering, but maybe if they had 3 toughness before, they would have activated it pre-combat. So Shackles, I'm not sure if I really want it on the draw. I guess it's better than Mana Leak on the draw, and Mana Leak is kind of the worst card in my deck on the draw that I'm still going to play post board. So they are Boros, which most people are not doing, which makes Gisela a lot worse. And I think even if I'm not playing Gisela, Boros is just better against me in general, and I think it's just better as a deck in general. I don't think the blue cards really do much. Like, Pippin is good, but that's really all you get. And red gets a lot more things, like they get Mary, Chain Lightning, Kellen, Price of Progress in the sideboard, which I think is just way more important than the blue cards. So I'm going to go something like this. That looks good, I think. Do I change anything on the play? I maybe play Absorb. I maybe bring in Compass. But what would I side out? I'm not really sure. Maybe I should have played Absorb over Shackles. I don't know. Shackles can be really good, even on the draw. It's very dependent on how the game goes. Like, it can be dead, it can be the best card in the deck. Which is a lot less true on the play. It's really only... Like, it's always good on the play. Pretty much. Like, if your opponent plays Thalia and threatens to kill you, it's bad, but... Or I guess if you don't draw many islands and they have a flowering. But outside of that, it's really good on the play regardless. Well, I guess not regardless, because there are scenarios where it doesn't happen, so not regardless. Okay, so this hand is not great, but I might want to keep it. Like, Heliod's is just too slow to answer their enchantments without removal. Especially if they have Thalia. I think I do Mulligan. If I had, like, any kind of removal or Wrath, I would definitely keep this. It's also a little weak to pop, which might be every hand, but... Okay, I throw back Dig because I really want these lands. And Dig is just bad to have in the opener regardless. Okay, there's a Wrath. So... Okay, they don't have the Sanu again, so that's nice. They don't have a land drop. Interesting. So I might just repeal the Kellen. I could also play Whale. I don't want to repeal right now because they just replay it and they maybe have nothing if I don't repeal. I maybe should have hit the Zergo because they're probably putting it on the bottom because they don't have a land drop. Oh, or they just have another one. So I just repeal one of these. They have a land. I guess I'm just repealing the Kellen right now. I guess I don't have to. Maybe I do. Are they actually thinking about activating that? It does actual nothing to activate that right now. Even if they have no cards in hand, it's a bad play, I think. Maybe I do nothing. I don't know. I guess I'll repeal. I really don't want to take the damage. You know, it puts me dead to pop and whatnot. Okay, if that was a Joust through, that would be amazing, but it's not. So yeah, that's kind of the downside of repealing. But it's fine. Instead of Kellen, they probably have something else. Flowering? Okay. I guess I put the elephant on the bottom. I don't love playing a non-basic, it's fine though. So I do wonder if they play Chain Lightning. I really don't want to depend on Gisela blocking for my survival. But it is really good if they don't have Chain Lightning. This is why I played Boonbringer before. Because I expected people would play Boris because I think it's better. So I didn't want to play Gisela against Chain Lightning aggro. Okay. Standard Menace Ride's End. Okay, now it's very safe to play Gisela here. They might just Chain Lightning it, that's fine now. Because I just play another creature to replace it. I do wonder what I'm doing with Timeless. Like, I'm just cycling for what? Farmland and cycling that? I guess. I could find an actual land I want to play. Plains. Okay. I don't really want to Timeless anymore. I don't really want to do that either. So I guess I'm trading with the Kellen. So if they have Chain Lightning, they do 6 to me. And they can't really play anything off the ability. Not playing Mystigate is... I don't know, I feel like it's correct because I don't really need the lands, but if they play a... Well, I guess they don't ever really play an enchantment here. And it doesn't matter if they play a force. Though I guess if they just don't attack, then maybe it's kind of awkward that I can't kill them all. Because I probably have to play it anyway, just to kill 2 of them. So, they don't attack. Interesting. So I kill those 2. I am dead to double pop. There's no way they have double pop in hand, right? They have Flare of Fortitude. That is annoying. At least they didn't win the game because I couldn't wrath them. So there's that. I'm just going to play Whale and attack. I don't think there's... Wait. That was probably a misplay. I have to chump block with the Whale now. It's fine. I guess not. They're just not attacking. Wait. Yeah, this doesn't have double strike. They could have just made me chump with the Whale. I'll double attack. I just Rune Tailor the Kellen now. It does let them do Senu things, that's fine. I could have just played a Wrath. That might have been better. And then just eternalized a Timeless and then killed them next turn. Yeah, that probably would have been better. I think I win regardless. I wasn't really expecting to go 2-0 against Boros Legends, especially after removing the Boonbringers, but here we are. Okay, I guess that's a little awkward. I guess I double attack, because like if I just attack with Gisela, attacking, like I just don't gain life, because they just block and sacrifice, or exile. They're chumping? Wait, what? Why didn't they just block and exile? I guess I just win now. Do I have to do anything here? Like I can, no, I can't really Wrath, can I? Can I ever die? Wait, what is this? 5? 12? Oh, easily. I could easily die here. I guess I'm wrathing. So like, they could play a Mary or something. And that would be a little bit of an issue. If they don't, they do just die. But yeah, if they play a Mary, they get a Senu as a blocker and also do some damage. That doesn't matter. It does let them resolve Mary through a mana leak. Okay, they just have nothing and they die. And I had Shackles too, so it didn't really matter. Or did it? I only had 4 islands, I guess. So I couldn't actually steal anything yet. There's no way they ever answer this. I guess they could have Flare, technically. But yeah, 2-0 against Boros Legends. I was not expecting that, but I am now 1-1. Alright, round 3, I am 1-1. My opponent is probably playing aggro, which is not what I want to see. But this is a really good hand for Legends. Unfortunately, it is not Legends, okay. So I have no idea what this is. Okay, Deduce is really good here. So I imagine it's some kind of control deck. Oh, it's URG Cascade. Oh, this was such a good hand for Legends too, and now they're just on Cascade. That's unfortunate. I guess I keep Absorb. So if they just play Lelia and attack, it dies. If they play Shardless, they actually just draw a million cards, and that is bad. So no Shardless, please. Just play Lelia and attack. Yes, thank you. I wonder if they attack here. Okay, they do. I'll play a Serum. I should not have bottomed that. Can I undo? No. I guess I'll bottom Mana Leak as well then. I really wanted to keep that land. That was a punt. I maybe should have kept both of them. I don't know. Maybe it was just Island. Okay, they play another Lilia. Please attack again. Please. Thank you. Another ill-timed. Okay, that means that Trawler could potentially be impossible to remove for them. Because that could be their only copies of ill-timed. I think they were playing like 3 or so. I think that's what these decks usually play. Okay, no Commandeer. They only have 4 cards in hand. Surely. Surely not. Surely not. Okay. So, I can take, like, Mystic Gate Colonnade. So I'm taking Mystic Gate, right? Is it Colonnade? I feel like it's not. It's not Deduce. I guess it's just Absorb? Maybe I should have found the land? I don't know. Like, what am I actually countering? I can't counter a Challenger. Like, I guess I can counter See the Truth if it finds that. That's fine, I guess. It is Challenger, I think. No. They're just going to draw cards. Which could be a problem for me. D-Sphere. I guess I do use that. It's not that good of a card against most of their decks, so I guess. They're actually playing Commandeer here. Interesting. So I really need my one of Shackles. So I can actually beat Challenger, or just draw a Dream Trawler. That maybe wins. So they exile Ill-Timed Shardless. Wow. Those are some good cards to be getting rid of. I guess I do counter. I don't really have to, but it's interesting that they really want this. I guess the idea is drawing 2 cards every turn is very good against control. I feel like they just want to cast Bloodbraid, though. I feel like it doesn't really matter that much. So I guess they just have another Shardless already. That's why they were willing to do that. Which is annoying, but... So they still have 3 copies of See the Truth in their deck, potentially. And they could just play another Shardless here. They don't, okay. So I really want a Trawler because I think it actually just wins, potentially. Because I think they used every Ill-Timed in their deck, unless they're actually playing 4. And they could be, but... I mean, it would be pretty hard for them to find it if it's a one-of, so... I will attempt to counter this. Because what else am I doing? I guess I cycle because I really need to find something. Play Serum, bottom. I could Wrath right now. I probably will next turn, regardless. Lelia. So if they don't play a Cascade, I would love to just Wrath. And it looks like they won't, okay. Venser. Wow. I guess I don't really care about Venser. I mean, they might just hit their Shardless, which could actually be an issue. So maybe I do counter. I don't know how much I care. Like, they're going to hit every See the Truth regardless, but I think it does matter how long it takes them. Like, if they hit D-Sphere, I don't care. It's really just them hitting Shardless that I'm worried about. I guess they could Venser the Venser, so I get to keep it. I don't know. I think I do want to counter this just so they can't hit Shardless. Like, Mana Leak is kind of dead because it never hits the first spell they play in a turn. So I don't know. There's a Shackles. That is huge. I guess I don't play Wrath. So I have 4 islands, so I can steal Challenger right now. Do I upkeep? No, there's not a whole lot of reason. If they remove the Shackles as haste so it can attack regardless. It's really only like an instant speed Cascade that I'm worried about, and I could just wail if they do that, so I'm not too concerned. And yeah, they just don't have any kind of instant speed Cascade because there really is none. Like, there's Like, I don't even know if it's legal, but there's maybe the, what is it called? Some kind of blast for 5 mana, but it's black, so they can't have it. So this doesn't hit a whole lot of relevant things. Like a trawler would be great, maybe any creature would be great. So I guess that's why I didn't use the Wrath, they're just gonna do it for me. Which is interesting, I feel like that's not very good. Okay, so Shackles does mean I can actually pressure them with Whale instead of them just blocking it. Okay, so they only have one See the Truth left, so it's good that they drew one. Still no Bloodbraid Challenger, but they might have one right. They might have found it off See the Truth, and they did. Which is fine, I have Shackles. Reveal is shardless, so they find their last See the Truth. So now when they Cascade with... Okay, so they still have an Ill-Timed in their deck. So now when they Cascade with shardless, it hits nothing. I guess I Whale the Challenger, and then just play Whale. Okay, so I play Whale. I guess I let them chump. Because I'm just going to steal the Challenger. I think I can just run them out of value. They're just going to run out of cards other than Challenger. And Challenger doesn't get there by itself, even if they have 4. Because yes, they can just wait until they have all 4 in play, and then I can only get rid of 2 of them, but like I have a Whale, I have other removal spells potentially. Like it's just not realistic. Okay, that does look at a lot of cards. Which is maybe not a good thing because of Commandeer. So maybe I will just try to use it as a counter spell. But what am I even trying to counter? Any answer is Shackles, I guess. So they've only used one Commandeer. Okay, they just concede, interesting. So Shackles is what decides the matchup. This is why I'm playing 2 in the sideboard, even though it's not actually that good against Legends, I think. It's really just this matchup that I really want it for. And like, it's good in other matchups, but this is the matchup where you really need to have Shackles. So Gisela is good, I think. They don't really have removal that cares about toughness. Like there's the steaming sauna. But like that could easily kill a 5 toughness creature, so it's not really something I worry about. So Nevermore is good, Rune Taillow is good. I could play Negate. It counters See the Truth. It can counter Ill-Timed, which probably doesn't really matter. It can counter Commandeer. I feel like it's not that important, but Absorb is also not that good. So Ancestral I like, I guess. So what do I not like? I guess Wraths are not the best. Jace. I actually like Ride's End. Like Joust Through, I feel like it's kind of important to be able to remove the Lelia to make sure I don't die. I do really love the Ride's End here. It's really good at answering the Challenger. Maybe I do play Whale for Lelia. Maybe it's just Absorb. Actually, I kind of like Thassa's, I guess. Okay, I'll go with this. So basically the strategy is to not die to early aggression with the single target removal, and then resolve a shackles, and the game ends. I think they generally don't have many ways to answer shackles, and they potentially don't bring them in. But it's possible that they know that shackles is my main game plan, especially since they saw that in game 1. So they might bring some stuff in. Though I don't really know what their sideboard is. Like, what would they even have at 3 mana or more? Like, they could obviously have bounce with, like, Fencer. They can counter it, they can commandeer it. Okay, so that's one of their See the Truths. So I do have to mana leak a Lalia. And it is a Lalia. They have the commandeer? No. Oh, that would have been great earlier. Like 1 turn earlier. So I used the Deuce here. I joust through a Lalia. They have nothing? Okay, that's great for me. I guess they're just planning on playing Challenger next turn. Serum is maybe bad here. I like Compass. Okay, so I go this. So I think what I do is joust through, activate the clue. I could play Absorb. Wait, they don't even have Challenger? I guess I'm just activating the clue. So if they steal that, I don't really care about them having it. It's like bad for me to, it's bad for me to not have it, but them having it doesn't really do anything. Because I don't really care about attacking. And it doesn't even stop Dream Trawler, so. But like if I'm shackling their creatures, I don't think it really matters how quickly I kill them with their own creatures. Wait, what? Still my turn. Okay, it's a good thing I misclicked and didn't cycle that. Was not really paying attention. So they actually do have something. Broken Wings. Okay. I guess I'll counter that. I mean, it's good that they didn't use it on Shackles, so that's something. But I will attempt to counter this, and it probably works. So they can resolve whatever they want. I imagine it's not Challenger. Surely they would have played that before Broken Wings, but maybe not. Okay, that is a bit of an issue. Please play a creature. That is not a creature. That is really annoying. That is bad for me. So I think I will just go Wrath right now, because that is kind of an issue if it gets out of hand. So I can dig for a land next turn, and then I have counter plus Joust through up. So they don't have Lalia plus something. That's good. Forbid. That is not what you want to Cascade into. Interesting that they're playing Forbid. I mean, they could be playing like Invert Polarity instead. That would probably be better. So I could just go dig. I probably should have done it main phase. But whatever. I do need to be able to protect my dig from Commandeer, which I can just do. This is maybe not the best play, because I'm allowing them to play it again, but they probably had something anyway, so it's fine. Are they actually trying to answer this? There's no way they would do anything. Like, they can just replay it. And if they played a counterspell, I would just play another one, and then they would just have nothing. Okay, so I go dig. If they have Commandeer, they can't have anything else, so that's good. They could have like double 3-mana counter, I guess. That's very unlikely. If they play 1, I will counter it. Like a forbid. There's no way they buy it back. Unless they have actual terrible, like, useless cards in hand. That looks like a forbid. No buyback. So that's multiple copies of forbid that they're playing. I guess I take Serum Visions. I could go Ride's End. Is it ever Ancestral? Maybe it's just Rune Halo named the challenger. I'll definitely lead with the Serum. Okay, Thassa's is good. Rune Halo name the challenger. And then I will just Timeless. So I can't really answer Lelia. Though I imagine they just don't have it and they would have to draw it. And they would definitely have to have a Cascade at the same turn or I would just kill it. And they probably would. If they waited until they had 8 lands, they could just play Challenger. Which could actually kill Lelia anyway if they hit a 4 less mana spell as their first card. So this is a Challenger. They hit the best thing possible. I see the truth. That's only 2. Okay. So they can't attack. And they can't attack next turn either, most likely. I guess I just cycle this. I'm never gonna play it as a land. I don't need my Thassas to be that big. In fact, I don't really want it to be that big. I guess I do that. I don't really want to play Thassas unless I can back it up with a counterspell. Because I feel like it's kind of likely that they have a Commandeer. And maybe I'll just use it to make sure I can resolve Shackles or something. They do have Broken Wings, possibly as a 4 of. So if I played the 4-3, they could just play like an ill-timed, but that would be fine because they're also removing their own things. So I assume they are playing some amount of ill-timed, because it is pretty important for dealing with things like Baneslayers and Trawlers. Or just Timeless Dragons. But I'm not sure if they've really played this deck before, so maybe they're not aware of that. This could be a Venser. It's a whale. Okay. They kept whale in. That's interesting. So they have missed a lot of land drops. Well, they're doing nothing, so I guess they're just planning on playing whale. Do I just play Thassas here? I could. I mean, they could just forbid with buyback. I guess that's scarier than Commandeer. Do I Thassa's in response to Whale? I feel like no, it's just too likely that they have it. How do I answer Whale? I don't. So I guess I need to do it at some point. But doing it earlier would be better. So I don't know, I guess I'm just hoping to draw something that, like, I don't know, a Wrath. Because they can't really answer Wrath. I mean, I guess they could with Forbid, and then maybe Commandeer is back up to counter the Thassas. So I assume they're playing something here. See the truth? That's 3. They could time out in game 3. Mana leak. Okay, let's see what they do. Maybe I should have done it for 2. Okay, that doesn't really work. So how am I going to resolve this? So if they commandeer it, they can't really use it themselves. But I really need it in play for me. So I am going to wait, see if I can get a counter spell, see if they tap out. It looks like they are trying to hold up counter spells though, like Forbid. I could Joust through, but I really need to be able to block the 3/3 and 2/2. Actually, I probably should have played Joust through. Because it doesn't even kill the Gisela. And I'm not sure that they really would want to do anything about it. Okay, so I would love to do this, but... Like, I would love to play Shackles, but it's just so easy for them to have multiple cards here. And I just can't use Mana Leak. So yeah, they could have just, like, multiple Forbids, and then also a Commandeer. If this is a Whale, I do attempt to counter it. Although I don't really want to do this. I mean, I could just be dead here. Like, if they have Steaming Sauna, I think I'm one off being dead, so. Or if they commandeer this and play a Steaming Sauna. If they just attack with Whale, I definitely do the thing with Joust through. So I block. I don't need to set the stop here, but I'm doing it just because. Why not? Just making sure. So it's definitely possible that they have something to say about this. Though I'm not sure what it would be. I guess they could redirect it to Gisela with Commandeer. Which is the same as countering it. Or they could play a Forbid. They could Venser or something. Wait, what would they even Venser? Their own Whale? Okay, they get rid of Lelia. Interesting that they didn't play that before. And then try to Cascade. But yeah, they do have this Forbid, which means I can't really Shackles. Though I guess maybe they can't Forbid plus Commandeer, because that would require all of the other 2 cards in their hand to be blue. I mean, I have to go for it, though. Like, I'm actually just dead. Like, I'm not dead, but I do die. Like, they might just have another Lelia, so. So they can't go Forbid. Which is nice. And I can steal a whale here. Okay, so... Wait, they actually had 2 blue cards. Wow. It was Commandeer, Commandeer, See the Truth, Forbid. I'm actually dead. Yeah, there's nothing I can do here. Like, they have Forbidden Hand. So if I play it, I just lose my Shackles. But the thing is, Shackles, even if I resolve it next turn, I'm still dead, because they get their Shardless Agent through. I don't know why they played that. So I'm at 1. So I need Absorb, I guess. Okay. I'm dead to Forbid. Okay, that is not nothing. I really need that negate in hand. So if I play Wrath, they obviously counter it, right? No, I just have to play Shackles. Like, they counter Shackles, I assume. Like, they have to counter this, right? There's no way they don't. And now I'm just dead, because I needed Shackles in play. But there's really nothing I could have done differently, I think. Like, I could have played Day of Judgment and said they won't counter it. I feel like that's really unlikely, though. Like, I could have played Day of Judgment and then not played Shackles after they let it resolve. Maybe that was a better play, because there's really no way for me to win now. Like, they just play Bloodbraid Challenger and hit something. I guess if they hit literal nothing, like a Forbid, then they can't kill their Challenger. And they don't have anything else relevant, so they can't do anything. And they, like, drew a land. How many do they have left? None? Okay. So if I can remove Shardless, I can maybe win. So I get to see their deck. That's not very helpful. So they have an ill-timed, exactly 1 ill-timed. They have 4 Commandeer in their deck still. Or they do post-board now. So they have exactly 1 ill-timed. Interesting. Oh, I knew it was negate. Why'd I keep that? I should not have kept that. There was no reason to keep that. Yeah, that was definitely a punt. I knew that they weren't gonna have that Forbid. I was just thinking I wanted it now. But okay. Another Challenger? What is this? Wait, they have one in the graveyard? I didn't even notice. Venser? Okay. Okay, that's a bit more than you needed. Honestly, the play here could just be bouncing Venser. To have a... No, because it never answers a whale or chows through. Deuce? Wait, I actually would have had it, I think. Maybe not. Would I have been able to afford that? No way. I mean, I had like infinite draw on the top, but I wouldn't have been able to afford that, so I was dead regardless. So on the play, Absorb is a lot better. Negate actually seems kind of good against them. Gisela looked really good. So what do I not want? Ancestral is good. I mean, it's bad into Commandeer, but it's still a good card, I think. So they have up to 4 Broken Wings. I don't know if that means I want non-Shackles artifacts and enchantments or not. But, like, there's none that I really want to side out. Like, I definitely keep a Rune Tailor in, right? I guess I'll play Whale over Joust through. Whatever. I mean, it's a good card. I definitely shouldn't side it out, but I don't know what else to side out. Okay, it has card advantage, it has shackles. Which they should never be able to commandeer. Okay, yeah, especially with that mulligan. They just shouldn't be able to commandeer that. But they could definitely Broken Wings it after playing something else. And it's not like I can hold up counterspells on their end step. No 2-mana counters from them, I'm pretty sure. I would be very surprised if they did have any. They're never bringing in something over See the Truth. And there's nothing that costs... There's no, like, Quench-esque counter that costs more than 2 mana, but can be played for 2 mana. So, please just play Aurelia. Okay, they just Broken Wings. Counterspell? Okay, that's not bad. That is not a great draw, though, for me. So now if they just go, like, Shardless, I guess Lelia is a bit of a problem, too. If they have a Shardless now. Please no land. Lelia, okay. So I want that in the graveyard. Do I play Gisela? I guess. Please no Shardless. Thank you. Surely they would have played it already. I feel like playing Shardless would have been better than playing Lelia there. Okay, yeah, I kind of forgot about that, not that it necessarily changed what I would have done. What'd they find? Island. So there's no way they have Commandeer, right? Okay. There's no way they have it. They don't. Whale is great. Ride's End? Or Mana Leak, I think. I mean, it's gotta be Mana Leak, right? Okay. So, I can't shackle the Lelia if they attack and I don't Whale. Okay, but I do have to Whale. Can they ever stop Whale? Commandeer does stop it because it can only target opposing creatures, so if they gain control of it, it fizzles. I mean, it has come up somewhat often for me where I want to Lagoon Breach my own creature, so that is a pretty relevant downside that it can only target opponents' creatures. Mostly because I want to Lagoon Breach a creature that I shackled. So, do they Commandeer? I would really need... Okay. They put it on the bottom, which maybe means they have one in hand, and they do nothing, okay. They hit Island? Oh, they played it before attacking. That was not the correct play, I guess. So, I shackle. I don't think they can ever really beat that, because I have Mana Leak. They would have to have double Commandeer exactly, with 4 other blue spells. Do I go with Thaumatic Compass? I already have 7 lands. I don't really... Like, I maybe want to find a land with it later. And the Spires doesn't really do anything right now. The extra mana doesn't matter, and I'm never using the ability. I guess I'm letting Shardless hit me, so I would use the ability, but it doesn't really matter. And if they play like a creature pre-combat, I just shackle that. But they're probably not playing a creature here because of shackles. Or at least they should play it post-combat, I think. Because now they just can't attack with Shardless. Okay, they find their See the Truth. They have 2 still left. That could be a problem. They've already used 2 Broken Wings. I don't know if they're actually playing the full 4. Hopefully not. Because I can't really stop it. Trawler could be pretty good at beating that, though. Forces them to ill-timed. I mean, it doesn't really matter that I can shackle the challenger. If I just shackled the Shardless Agent and chump blocked with it, that wouldn't really change that much. So, I guess I keep this for now. And I will play a Trawler. So Broken Wings does not do it because they still need to beat Trawler. Ill-timed currently gets mana leaked. They need to play a untapped land, which they have. Obviously they played double See the Truth. They can't do both yet, but they could do them eventually. And if they go ill-timed main phase and then I tap out for Clue Token in their end step, they just Broken Wings on their own end step. Okay, if they're passing, that means they can't answer Trawler. There's no reason to Broken Wings it. It's so much better on Shackles, which they might do right now. Doesn't look like it. So if they don't do it, I assume they just don't have it, because there's no way they would not Broken Wings the Shackles when I'm tapped out if they had it. So I think I do want to attack with both, maybe? Maybe not, they could have a Whale. And it blocks a Lalia, I guess, which could be an issue. Though I have Compass, so maybe it doesn't matter. Yeah, I guess since I have Compass, I probably should have attacked. Okay, that is a lot of counterspells. I think they are definitely... Okay, I think it is pretty over now. I think they can't answer Trawler now that I have so many counterspells. No reason to try to find a land. I want to hold up counter magic, and I just have an island in hand already, so I'll just play the Compass. And it should be over. I should just kill them in 3 attacks. I might let like a Shark resolve or something. Maybe not a Shark. I don't know, maybe I'll let some random flyer resolve. So I could counter this. I'm not sure that I should. They would get that. It doesn't actually answer Trawler, and I don't need it myself. It does make me discard every turn, which is not that big of a deal. I can just discard this island, for example. I don't know, it is a really... Like, I feel like I don't really need a backup plan for if Trawler dies, because I can just always counter the answers, but... I don't know. Well, I can't play double absorb now. That was maybe a misplay. Now it's pretty easy for them to resolve a ill-timed. But it is pretty hard for them to beat me even without Trawler, so... Like, they would definitely have to Broken Wings the Shackles. Lalia, that is completely fine. Even if they have a Cascade. Which is probably Bloodbraid. Looks like Bloodbraid. So do they find the See the Truth? They find ill-timed. Okay, that's the best card in their deck to find here. And if they have a Commandeer in hand, they could actually resolve it right now, which would be very good for them. I am obviously going to attempt to counter it. They f6 through it. Okay. And they concede. Okay, 2-1. Alright, this may be where my run ends. I'm playing an Azorius control mirror where my opponent has up to 22 counterspells post board, and I think they actually play all of them when we played in the last tournament. Which is not good. I did win game 1 last time, and then I still lost, and I wasn't able to time them out. So I'm probably just going to die. And I'm assuming they're still on Azorius control, which it definitely looks like. Okay, Ancestral is great. This is a great hand in general. So I might actually be able to take this game 1, because this is an amazing hand. I'm not sure what actually decides the control mirror. Like, it could be decking. I don't think they play Shackles, though. So I might just be able to play creatures and kill them if I have the card advantage game 1. They do play pretty quickly, so I kind of doubt I'll be able to time them out, unless game 1 actually comes down to decking. I should maybe be countering that. Yeah, I probably should have countered that with Thassa's, or maybe just Absorb, I'm not sure. So they have multiple Colonnades in their deck, but that doesn't really matter, because at least in game 1 it doesn't matter because of the amount of removal we're playing. So I definitely should have countered the Deduce to prevent them from getting card advantage, and partially because I'm about to resolve this Ancestral. Though, okay, it would have been a lot better the turn before because now I'm letting them resolve Jace, which is probably a 1-of, but it would be really annoying for them to resolve this. So I would love to resolve a Search for Escanta, or my own Jace. Okay, I will protect this with Absorb, but they do have main deck Negate, I think. So I might not be able to. I think they have like 4 Mana Leak, 2 Negate in the main deck, so if they negate this, I maybe just let it happen. If they Mana Leak, I definitely pay. It's a Absorb or something, Refute, Summary Dismissal. Absorb, I definitely countered this. I don't think they have Spell Pierce. I think they have like 1 or 2 in the side. I don't think they have any in the main. I don't want to tap out of this Mana Leak, but I really do want to get Ancestral as quickly as possible, and I don't think there's anything too scary because they didn't have Jace last time, so that's really the only thing I'm scared of. Or like Search for Escanta, but again, they would have played that last turn if they had it. I'm not scared of anything at 5 mana, unless they somehow have Jace Memory Adept in their deck, which I really doubt. Especially in the main. Okay. They played Dig main phase, so I did let them resolve that. They were going to be able to resolve that regardless, like on their own end step, so that's not a big deal. I'm definitely winning the card advantage battle. I could play Trawler, which is probably not the best play. I don't know, I guess I'll just play it, because I'm actually able to resolve it. And they can't really do anything other than play a Wrath here, so I'm not really letting them resolve anything by doing this. Oh, or they could have that. Yeah, I forgot about that. But again, they can't really play anything else. So it's fine. And it does get rid of a Council's Judgment that could deal with the Timeless Dragon. Okay, I've drawn a lot of counterspells. That's every Absorb in my deck. Wait, the only counterspells still in my deck are 3 Mana Leaks. So, yeah, and they have a lot of counterspells in their main deck. Not like 22 like in their 75, but like I think like 15-ish. Maybe more. Like 4 Mana Leak, 2 Essence Scatter, 2 Negate, some amount of 3 mana counters, Athasa's, Absorb. I could absorb back. I think I will. Though that is, like, I don't really have any hard counters left, so that could be an issue. They mana leak, I mana leak back. This is on their end step, by the way. Okay. I'll find an island. Wait, they have their own? They just suspended though? Okay. Oh, and I forgot, I was gonna have the card preview up. I guess I can start that now. I should definitely fix this. Oh wow, yeah. They are playing that. Which I didn't even count as a counter spell. But yeah, that is very annoying. And now I have nothing. So they might actually just win this. Because they just have so many counters. Okay, deduce. I won't main phase that. I guess I do it in response to Vantress. So how did they actually kill me? They have a ton of counter spells, so they can just beat me in card advantage, and then eventually they'll put a creature in play and I won't be able to answer it because they'll just have so many counters that I can't use them. That I can't actually resolve a removal. Are they cycling? They are. Do I even try to counter this? I feel like no. There's no way it works, and my counters are more important than theirs because they have more. So I really need to not trade them off. Unless I'm actually fighting over something really important that needs to resolve. So they are drawing more cards than me now. Okay, there's Whale. Probably doesn't do a whole lot. Though I guess I don't even need to save the Lagoon Breach because it doesn't actually remove a threat. So maybe I do just play it as a 6/6 and then have it die to a Wrath or their Whale. They are drawing a lot of cards right now. What is this? Could be Trawler. How many do they have in the main? It's either 1 or 2. I really need to check their list right now. So this is a 1 of, which means I maybe win the game if I counter this. If I use D-Sphere... Okay, wait. If I had Negate, I could have used D-Sphere Repeal to permanently remove it and not lose to Council's Judgment. I was kind of hoping they would negate, honestly. Just so I could do that play. Okay, Essence Scatter. This does die to the Council's Judgment, but Like, if finding a land isn't that relevant, like, I guess it does cantrip, but... So, it's hard for them to actually kill me now that they don't have Elspeth, because, like, they have Jace and some creatures. So, Spires is really good, my removal is really good. It is just gonna be difficult for them to kill me. I wonder if I just never attack. I do need to see what removal they have. So they're playing Whales as their only single target removal, and then for Wraths they have actual Wrath of God and Settle the Wreckage. Do they have Dig? They do. I mean, I can't counter it, so whatever. So they play Dig. That's fine. Like, yeah, they have... Like, they're basically just throwing the aggro matchup away just to completely farm every slow deck. And yeah, like, this is pretty much impossible for me to win, because they just have way too many cards for the slow matchup. And I'm, like, really focusing on the aggro matchup. And even if I'm not, I'm just not playing that many counterspells regardless. Like, I'm not going to play more than 10 in the main. I'm currently playing 8. Like, I wouldn't play more than 12 post-board, and they're just playing 22 post-board. So it's not... So I don't think I really can win this matchup. But I might win it right now if they, because they could very easily lose due to decking out this game. And then they could time out in Game 3 after beating me in Game 2. But I think they're playing way too quickly for that to happen. Which I've never really seen before. I've never really seen someone play quick enough to both deck out and not time out in 3 games. So I guess I play this here because making them tap out means I can potentially go D-Sphere Repeal. I actually have a lot of threats for this Jace because I also just have Timeless Dragon attacking as a threat. It is kind of awkward that I made them use a counterspell when they had to discard because they don't really have any dead cards, I think. Like, they discarded a land, which is not a dead card. Because removal is not dead at all. This just doesn't work. They just play Whale, and then they still have an Absorb up, so it's just not going to work. Like, I play D-Sphere, they just have a counter. Wait, no? Settle? I could repeal my Timeless. That's never the right play, though, because I really need to repeal the D-Sphere. It would be funny, though. Okay, of course they don't have Spears in the main, so that works. Okay. So that really only played around Council's Judgment, which is only a 1 of now. It's a 2 of in their deck, but they only have 1 left. So it's not the most important to repeal the D-Sphere, but I like doing that. That's why I didn't really want to attack, though. Because now they just actually permanently remove 2 of my creatures, essentially, when all I really want to do with my creatures is block. Well, I have double Wrath, so there's probably no way they actually let this Trawler live. I mean, I guess if they have... I mean, they could have Negate plus a 3-mana counter. So I play Wrath. Let's see. If I play Summary Dismissal, I get to remove this. They cycle, yeah, it's dead. Interesting that they cycled. What does that mean? They didn't even try to play anything. Wow. I guess they Essence Scatter here. Mana Leak, yeah. The fact that they cycled is weird. I would be very surprised if they had no hard counters in hand. But I guess maybe they don't? I don't think they were really playing Absorb last time I faced them. They were just playing Refute, and then they were playing Absorb in the sideboard. Oh, and they have 2 Jaces now. Okay. Huh. Are they activating Colonnade here? Or are they having another Trawler? Okay, it's just Colonnade. That's fine. They're never gonna kill me with that. And Jace ultimate doesn't kill me either. Like, what does it even find? A Timeless? A Whale? An Ancestral to throw at me? It's not even close, though, the decking battle. I'll play Jace first. And they can't really kill it with attacking because I have the Spires as well as removal. What am I doing? That was a... Oh, okay. Surely they counter this. Yep. Pay no mind. I guess, I'm just playing around the council's judgment, of course. Yep. To confuse your enemy, you must first confuse yourself. Or something. Well, okay. Main phase, I don't know why. I guess because I'm kind of tapped out. Okay, there's no way they let this resolve. There's actually no way. Because they just lose the game if it resolves. I mean, they're probably dead regardless, but... Leak does nothing. I guess I go Whale Wrath. I could have found Serum, but... Nah. So, how many mana leaks do I have left? A lot? I've only used like 2. Wait, what? Where's the second? I've only used 1? Really? There's no way I have 3 left. I thought for sure I used more. Like, I had that one whole game. I feel like I drew 1 more. Do I actually have 3 left? So, if they have a second Elspeth, which they didn't have before, that's really one of the only ways they could beat me. Because Shackles doesn't even beat that, Spires doesn't do anything, Wraths just don't do enough. I'll Lagoon Breach the Colonnade. I'm not gonna ride Zend until they force me to. And by force I mean put at least 2 creatures in play that it kills, that Wrath kills. And then I'll ride Zend something, once they get, like, Colonnade plus a creature. I still have double Joust through in the deck, right? Maybe I should stop drawing cards. So this never resolves. It resolves? Okay. That is not what I was expecting. I should have played... I should put Timeless in play. Okay. That doesn't really matter, it's just a blocker anyway, so it's not like it matters when I do it. I don't think they can answer at instant speed. They could be playing Repeal, I guess. I don't think they are. I'm not really sure, though. I guess I can use Search. I don't take that. I guess I should have put Colonnade on the top. Or, like, closest to the top. Okay, I could find double Joust through to remove something. They whaled their own whale? No? Settle? They settle their own whale? I don't find a land here. I don't really care about lands. So, I mean, they settled their own whale, which is... I think they just don't realize how Shackles works. Like, their whale is just not even a card. They lost 2 cards for nothing, basically. Both their whale and their settle. And then I just still have my Shackles. So I'm not sure how many cards they can possibly make me draw. Like, they would need double Ancestral to kill me, and they've... How many have they had so far? 2, right? So I guess it could be 4 of. But they would need to be high enough in the deck where they can find them without drawing to them. And also, I might be able to threaten killing them. They play Mana Leak here, right? No? Interesting. I will attack with one of these. They have one more settle, probably. Which they are playing, I think. Yes. So they have like one more whale, I think. They're playing really fast. Like, I'm actually not that far ahead on time, which does not really happen very often. What is that? Scry? Okay. Oh, I guess with Vantress, they guarantee that they draw their Ancestrals early. So yeah, they maybe just win with double Ancestral. They don't have a whole lot of removal left. Like, they actually might just have only one whale as the removal. Though, I'm not sure if I can beat that. I don't really have any creatures left, right? Okay, I can't do anything about that, so I guess they kill Shackles. Yes. Okay, that's fine. I still have a lot of removal. I guess the Colonnades got a lot better. They'll have to attack with 2 to do anything. They're firing them up. Interesting. I do just use Ride's End, right? I think I do. Like, what else would I use it on? They have like one whale, maybe a Torrential Gearhulk. So I'm just gonna pay my 5, cast Ride's End. I can counter this. Summary Dismissal. Gearhulk. I do just counter this, right? I find a counterspell. And yeah, Mana Leak is just dead outside of this. So yeah, very good Mana Leak, and they concede. I think that's like 1 more minute than it took me last time to win. Like, that's actually... Wait, that's 12 minutes? They have 13 minutes left? Wait, no, that's like way longer. It took me like... Like, they died in like 9 minutes last time when I faced them. So they might actually time out this time. So... I can't even try to win. There's no way I'm winning against the deck with 22 counterspells. So my only chance is to just try to stall as long as possible. So if they're siding in like 5-ish counterspells, they have to be taking out like the removal spells, right? So maybe I just play all of my creatures. I play Needle for Elspeth. I play Nevermore for Elspeth, probably. Heliod's doesn't hit anything. Negate is amazing. Jouster is bad. So, Wraths are not the worst. So, what am I siding out? Like, I have to play Wraths. So, what is something that takes a lot of cards out of my deck? Deduce. Deduce is amazing early game, though. There is Search, but that's just way too good at doing stuff. And, like, I don't really care if I deck out, right? Like, if I'm decking out, then they're losing a lot of time, because there's no way it's happening quickly. Like, what does Gisela block? It blocks the 4/4. Does it block anything else? They have, like, Trawler, they have Whale. Maybe it's bad. Is Repeal good? Probably not, right? No, because I can't even hit my D-Sphere, because I sided that out. Maybe it's just, like, Serum Visions. But, again, it's not really about decking out. It's about surviving. Okay, that's really good at surviving, if I can resolve these. And they probably countered Deduce. I think they were countering them last time I played them. They have Ancestral, that is annoying. So, I guess I play Farmland. Maybe that's a misplay. So, they maybe counter Deduce, and then I can resolve Shackles. And they do have, like, the Council's Judgment, but that is an interesting thing to main phase. I guess they really just didn't want me to counter this, which maybe means they're missing land drops. Or maybe they just really value resolving Deduce and getting their card advantage flowing. So let's see if this resolves. If they Spell Pierce, that's annoying. If they manually can then Spell Pierce, that's also annoying. They Spell Pierce, yeah, annoying, but okay. Playing Prairie Stream doesn't matter in the slightest, as opposed to Island. I am just going to go... do I cycle? Maybe I should have just played the Farmland. No, I'm gonna cycle. I'm pretty sure I cycle. Maybe it's a misplay, I might miss land drops. Deduce in response? They can't find the bird off that. Okay, that was a misplay. That was definitely a misplay. Should I have just jammed Shackles? Probably not. I might next turn. That's coming down right now, right? I guess they're potentially discarding 2 cards. Okay. Land, please. Island. Colonnade. Yeah, that was a punt. I should have played the Farmland as a land. They did nothing, okay. Like, it's just so easy to die to combat quickly when I don't have lands. Like, if I had lands, I would be able to pretty easily resolve Shackles, I think. But now I'm kind of just gonna die. They counter this? Wow. I guess I just let this get countered. If they Spell Pierce, I pay. Okay, that's fine. Maybe I should have waited. I don't know. They can't really play a sorcery threat, though. Or if they do, it does nothing. Like, are they just playing a Dream Trawler? That isn't... Okay. That is a problem. That is a big problem. I might just die. Needle, please. It works? That is not what I was expecting at all. Okay. I am very surprised that worked. Can I actually just resolve Shackles now? I think I can. I guess I just cycle first because it doesn't matter. No, I cycle last. What am I doing? I don't want to lose to... I guess I could have Spell Pierced already. Why didn't I play the Shackles? Okay, it doesn't matter. They actually don't have a 2-mana or less counter, though. There's no way they let that happen. Unless it was just a mouse slip, but... Wow. Second Elspeth. Trawler. Okay, Trawler is a lot easier to deal with. I am just going to play Shackles. So once I get to 8 lands, they have to remove shackles, and then they have to counter both wraths. So it's quite difficult to deal with. Like, they can't counter this. They can negate, and then I absorb. And then they, I don't know, Council's Judgment. Okay, so I upkeep because I don't want to lose to 1 deduce. 2 mana. It's dig through time. I'm not going to counter. I'm just going to use shackles. Discard, please. No deduce. Thank you. Wait, they let me have it! Again, they did that last time I faced them too, and I just like played a Wrath or something. Oh, actually that's exactly what they did last time, never mind. Okay. Wait, why didn't I vote for... Oh my... Okay. Yep, Council's Judgment does have a problem. I could have exiled their Trawler. That might actually lose me the match. I kinda deserve to lose it for that. But they also deserve it for putting 22 counter spells in their deck. But yeah, I'm probably just gonna die now. I guess I protect this with Absorb. No. Yes. Why not? Please resolve. I could have just exiled that. No. It resolves? Wow. I threw so hard. But it does look like it's gonna take some time to kill me, which I said last match against them, and they won. And it's not gonna take that long for them to kill me. But they might not... There's a good chance they just can't answer this Wrath, because surely they would have just answered the last one, right? Right? They had the answer last time, so if they have it now. Okay, let's preemptively try to answer Elspeth. I mean, it doesn't work, but... They would just -3. They Nimble Obstructionist. Okay. So I think to win, I would need to get them to like 6 minutes or something. Like 8 minutes is just plenty for them to kill me. Like what, they started this with 12 minutes? I mean, even like 6 minutes. That would only be 6 minutes to kill me. Wait, it was like 13 minutes. So like, it's pretty realistic that they could kill me in under 5 minutes. Like if they have a good draw and I have a bad draw. Like if I stumble, they might just be able to kill me in like 4 minutes. But it looks like it'll take at least 2 minutes for them to kill me, because I have these 2 whales right here. And they don't really have anything going on until the Ancestral, so... Okay, I would be playing around Spell Pierce by playing Mystic Gate, because it would let me both Whale and Lagoon Breach, but I'm just going to play Lagoon Breach first, it doesn't matter. What are they playing? It could be Colonnade, it could be a Trawler, it could be a Jace. They have their own shackles. I guess I will not be playing Whale this game. And they fire up a Colonnade. Okay. So please give me a thaumatic compass. That is not nothing. But they probably have a counterspell, so it probably is nothing. They do not have a counterspell. They could have Council's Judgment. I'll plus. Maybe I should minus because they might just Council's Judgment. They've already used one. I don't know. Did they put the Colonnade on top? Probably. Top, yes. What'd they scry? 2 top? Okay. I guess I put Jace on top, Colonnade second. Okay, so please thaumatic. Oh, yep, they just have it. Which is why I kind of wanted to -2, but okay. Okay, it seems like they don't have counter spells, but maybe they just didn't counter that because they had the answer. I should have waited for them to Vantress. That was a punt. That is amazing. That is actually beautiful. So, do I find Needle? Or do I not do that? That was so many good cards. Okay. So I Needle the Jace. There's no way they have a counter spell if they didn't counter the Dig. So that's gonna be 5. So I do need to play Mastigate to play around Spears, which is the only counter they can have here. They play a Whale. So if I find a Mana Leak, I can actually just counter that right now. That is a lot worse than the last one I did. Okay. Do I cycle the Timeless for a irrigated farmland? I could. Because if they have a Summary Dismissal or a Council's Judgment, which they probably don't have, then they just counter the first one anyway, so. Okay, it looks like my prediction of 5 minutes is going to be somewhat correct. But yeah, I can't even really play the Timeless is the thing because of the Shackles, so I guess I just draw a card, basically. Oh, I didn't even check to see if I had any left. So, I guess I'm gonna die. I'm actually just dead. Yeah, they just animate both of their things and kill me. These negates would have been amazing earlier in the game. Like, a couple turns earlier. Like, maybe counter that Council's Judgment. That would have been great. Imagine if I had a Settled Wreckage here. I would just win. On time. But I am just dead now. Bang. Whale. Time taken. So 5 minutes was an accurate prediction. Wait, they had a mana left? Where'd they have that mana? Oh, the Colonnade, of course. Okay, so 5 minutes and 15 seconds. Trawler does not do it. Trawler wins the game, potentially. That is not relevant. I do not play to win games. I play to win matches. So, what is good? Ride's End could be good. Ruined Halo. Why was I not playing that before? Maybe a Wrath, maybe a Mana Leak. I feel like maybe a Repeal is good. Alright. 5 minutes, come on. That is less time than they had last time. I don't remember exactly how much they had. It was like 7 or 8 or 9 minutes. And they killed me before then. But this time, I'm gonna win. Oh my. This is honestly one of the best hands I've ever seen. For the matchup. Like, this hand is so incredibly good in this matchup. I guess if they hold up Spears, that could be bad. But if they don't... Aw. Why would you do that? I guess I could lose to a Spears because I don't find a land. Okay. Wow, this is such an amazing start against this deck. Okay, so... Although I do need to kind of resolve this search. Do I just name Elspeth already? I guess. Please tap out. Main phase deduce because you don't want me to counter it. Mana leak? Okay. It's never search. I guess I just Rune Talo, see if they counter it. So they have Trawler, they have Whale, they have Colonnade. What am I most afraid of? I feel like none of their threats are actually good against me. It's not Trawler. It could be Whale. Maybe it is just Whale. Like, it's never Colonnade. I'll name Whale. Like, that's obviously the kind of thing you want to wait with. But I really want to get it down now for mana efficiency, maybe to beta counter. Okay. They didn't do that on turn 1, which means they have a lot of lands, probably. So I'm not sure that I can resolve this Ancestral. Probably not. They do potentially have a bird, which means I would resolve my search if they do anything to try to prevent the Ancestral. Though they could definitely have a Council's Judgment for it. So I assume they just pass. So if they play a 3-mana counter, I maybe try to protect it. Probably not, honestly. They have the Nimble. So I guess that means I do get to search. Okay. I do want to play around... Yeah, I think I need to play around Spell Pierce. They were F6'd, actually. I should have just played Shackles. They were F6'd. Okay. So Shackles is not relevant until I get more islands. It also potentially dies to stuff. I'm just gonna let this get countered, which is maybe a misplay to even play this, probably. But it's fine. So I'm just gonna try to get as much value off this search as possible and hopefully actually be able to contest them. I don't think I can counter that. Like, they just have Spears or Mana Leak. There's no way they don't. Or a Negate. I just don't want to trade that. You know, it helps them resolve like an Elspeth. And so does resolving it, because they could find a Spears, they could find the Elspeth. Okay, I tapped that. It's fine. They pass. I graveyard that. Ooh. I don't really like playing that. It would put me closer to search, but I would rather wait until they like tap out for a trawler or whatever. Well, I would just counter a trawler, so I don't know. Okay, they're still passing. They can't hurt me with whale. So that's, unless they're only flash that. They just discard it. Okay, they're not even planning to try to do something about it. I have a lot of counter spells. I probably should have kept the mana leak. That was definitely a misplay to get rid of it. I maybe should counter that. I'm just gonna let that resolve. So negate is honestly... So it's kind of like not that good here because I actually want to counter their threats, which are creatures. So, I don't know. Maybe not the best here. Essence Scatter would actually be good for me. I do definitely negate that. I think I'm not sure. If they play negate, do I do anything? I definitely do something about that. Okay, so they can't counter back. So that does mean that they don't have to discard. So maybe I should have just let it happen. I feel like I needed to do something. I like Wrath. I do need an answer to Trawler, which is why I did that. And now that they got rid of their Council's Judgment, it's harder for them to answer the Shackles. They'll like, obviously probably just get another one. But there are multiple things they want to answer, so... I think I do just win now that I flipped the Azcanta, because there's nothing they can do to get rid of it. And... like, normally they would kill me quickly because I just run out of cards. But that's not possible when I have Azcanta, so I think I just win. Sure. So I assume they hit Shackles, yep. That's fine. Another Ancestral. They might just have the bird, I don't know. Absorb. I don't really care about the card advantage. I already have my card advantage. All I care about is converting it into interaction. Like, I could actually win this game even if, like, even through actual, like, decking. I don't even need to win through time, potentially. I mean, I probably would lose, but it's actually, like, possible for me to win. I guess I'll take Dig. Like, normally I wouldn't take card advantage here, but it is very efficient at doing what it does. So it's fine. Okay. So I'm not afraid of Whale or anything, not that I would even want to counter it anyway. Gear Hulk. That gets Dig. That's fine. I can't counter it anyway because they're just going to protect it. I guess I wait to Azcanta. Like, they could find the bird, but that's fine. I would rather not let them resolve Jace, not that it really matters. Maybe I would let them resolve Jace, actually. Like, it just is way too slow. I guess it's Shackles. I don't even know what I would Nevermore. Like, they might not have another Elspeth, so... Though Elspeth... Oh, yeah, and I have it needled, so yeah. Okay. Interesting. So they're tapping me out. I don't know what that means. I find it very unlikely that they can actually do something that threatens me. Like, I guess they could Elspeth remove Needle. Okay, they just played Jace. That's too slow. That's all they're doing. Yeah, that's just too slow, and I also have shackles, which means that they have to protect Jace from their own creatures. So, okay, I'll find a plains. Actually, I find a duel because I care about islands. Yeah, they're dead. They don't have enough time. Like, they did actually play very quickly. Very few players play as fast as them. But it is not fast enough to beat me. I mean, they definitely could have won by actually, like, winning the game quickly. Like, they weren't that far off, I think. If I didn't get this as Kanta, they probably would have actually won in time. But yeah, it's just too late now. I thought for sure when I matched into them that I would lose my run. But I guess not. It's the plot armor in the major tournaments. I say that, but I'm probably going to lose next round now. Alright, I'm now 3-1. Alright, so match 5. I'm 3-1. I have to win the next 2 matches to make top 8. I think it's 6 rounds. I assume it's 6 rounds. But if I lose a match, since I lost in the first round, my OMW is terrible. So there's no way I make it on breakers at X and 2. So I have to win out. I am not entirely sure what my opponent is on. I feel like it's probably aggro, but I have no idea actually. Hopefully not Legends, though there's a good chance it is. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Humans, I think. So it's not Legends, but like a human Legends mono white probably. It could be actual knights. I kind of doubt it. Yeah, it's just humans. With like flowering, with Thalia's Lieutenant is the reason to play the deck. No champion of the parish, but you have Thalia's Lieutenant in addition to flowering, which is good. Because of we have Kithian and Basri. You can kind of do both. That is unfortunate. Yeah, I am just gonna die. I mean, if they didn't have the bodyguard, I would just kill the Thalia and then they would die to Wrath, but... Oh, I should have... No, I could never have played the Deduce, right? Because I was on the draw. But yeah, I am just gonna die now. Like, there's really nothing that can save me here. I guess Whale would do something. Like, what do I even do? I just cast Deduce? It's never farmland. I can't do anything on turn 4. They're gonna flip Kithian. They have Dauntless. Oh, why? I have so many tools for my removal. I mean, if I had like a Whale or the Ride's End, I would be able to just remove the Thalia. And then I could deal with the other 2 creatures and Kithian would kill me. Or maybe not. I don't know. Or I could just remove Kithian and then try to win, but that probably wouldn't work because I couldn't Wrath. Though, maybe Jace could actually do it. I don't know, it's just over now. There's nothing I can do. I'm probably gonna lose this tournament because of this deck. Like, yeah, I just can't win on the draw against this deck. I mean, not that I would have even won on the play, but... Like, if they play Thalia on turn 2 on the play, there's just nothing I can do. Well, I guess like a Gisela would have been really good here. I mean, it wouldn't because they would just provoke it. I guess they're giving something indestructible. The student, yeah. Can I just concede? Thank you. Okay. So on the play, it gets a lot easier. It's on the draw that I have to worry about. I mean, it's definitely not like I automatically went on the play. So, do I play Heliod's? They have a flowering, I assume. It might not be a 4 of, though. It should be, probably. So this is why I play Gisela over the other thing. Though it can be bad into Thalia with a buff. Because, like, Thalia with Flowering is 4 attack. And Boonbringer beats that while surviving, while Gisela trades. So, there's that. Do I even want D-Sphere? Probably. I play Compass on the play. So what's bad? Maybe it's D-Sphere. Okay, so I do this. And then on the draw, what do I do? Absorb is bad, Shackles is bad, everything is bad. I don't know. I kind of wanted to play more cards for the matchup just because on the draw, I have so many bad cards. Okay, this hand does not work. Like, just Shackles is maybe keepable, but I just don't have islands, so. This hand is better. This hand is actually really good. So I go turn 1 Serum, turn 2 Mana Leak. So I guess I don't play Deduce. This hand is good. It could be bad into a 1-drop. Okay. I guess I go top, right? So I go turn 2 Mana Leak, turn 3 Whale, turn 4... Or maybe I go turn 3 Shackles. So they play Githian, the best 1-drop. I never Whale here, right? Like, I guess if they played a... I don't know, what would they even play that I wouldn't want to counter? There's very little. Oh, I guess 2 1-drops? Yeah. I'm not going to counter that. So I just Whale here, and then I go Shackles. And then Thalia is not really a problem because there's no way they don't attack, right? Surely. Like, that would actually be so good for them. Like, I might just lose if they did not attack there. So, it's good that they did. I mean, it was pretty telegraphed, so they could have held back. I could hold up Mana Leak. I feel like that would be a misplay. I'll just get the Shackles down and win the game. So, if they played Flowering, it just wouldn't do anything really, because their creatures aren't legends. So they have Bodyguard that doesn't give protection from colorless. They just level up. Okay. So they could have Force of Virtue. I'm not sure if they would be playing that because it's kind of hard for them to have legends because they don't have that many. I don't know if they're even playing Bassery, so. I could upkeep so they can't flash in a Force, I guess. I feel like that doesn't... Like, yeah, I feel like they don't have it because Senu is bad, as I was saying, and yeah, they just do something pre-combat. I could steal that. I feel like maybe not. They are currently kind of dead to Wrath. If they have the Flare of Fortitude, that could be a problem. So they put it on the Dauntless, I assume. I just steal Luminarch, I guess. Maybe I should have done that earlier. I don't know. Okay, they just don't attack. So I'm just going to steal some creature that can kill itself. Okay. I guess I just do nothing. I'll set a stop on the main. So, if they just pass to their begin combat, I guess what do I steal? It's just Luminarch, right? Like, I do steal Luminarch and not do nothing. I could wait for them to attack, then steal Bodyguard. I don't know. And go... Oh. I do maybe have to counter that. Like, I lose to... Like, I think I have to counter that unless I want to lose to... Unless I'm willing to assume that they don't have the Flare of Fortitude. So... What is this? Dauntless, that's fine. Okay, I would have loved to wait, no, I should have waited. I could have just stolen the benevolent bodyguard maybe. I guess that is not the play. I don't know why they just decided to kill Luminarch, but thank you. I could try to play Wrath. I feel like that would be a misplay. Like, I'm not dead to Flare because I still have the Joust through, but I don't love that. Like, they could bring their Student of Warfare out of range, so yeah, I'll just do this. Oh, I should have. What did I play? A Mystigate? I should have waited to play the island. Thalia's Lieutenant. I mean, I just steal the Lieutenant. And block the Student of Warfare. Did they attack? If they don't, I'm just gonna do the thing again where I steal a bodyguard and sack it. Okay, they do attack. So I steal the untapped creature and chump. There's no way they sack bodyguard. So I guess I am going to use... I probably should have hit the other one just because it's bigger. I don't really care about protection, but like it could be relevant, I guess. So they just sack that so I don't gain life. It doesn't matter what they do with it. Or they let me gain life. Do I just use the Wrath now? I guess. Like, Flare does actual nothing. They just concede? Okay. So yeah, that was not even close. But it's not gonna go like that on the draw. Actually, with their draw, I probably would have won on the draw. Because they didn't have Thalia, or like any good card. They didn't have Lieutenant until later. They didn't have Thalia. They didn't have Flowering. Not that Flowering would even be that good there. So maybe I do play D-Sphere. Maybe I play... I guess Jace is... It's easier for Jace to actually stop the creatures from attacking. It does seem like Heliod's is actually bad here, so... Okay, like, I'm not even sure... Like, I don't think they're playing Force of Virtue. I'm not even sure if they're playing Flowering. I have seen lists with 0 in previous seasons. That's definitely incorrect. But it's probably not a 4 of, I'm guessing. Okay, this hand, again, would be great on the play. Though maybe not because of the land situation. So I would love to draw some lands, but it does have Peacekeeper after they play Thalia. Okay, no turn 1 play, but they tried. I don't know what that means. Do they have a 1-drop and just not play it? That looks like Thalia. Why else? What? Wow. That is a terrible hand. Was that a 7? No way they kept that at 7. They kept that at 7. Interesting. I mean, that is a terrible hand at 7. No 1-drop. The 2-drop is not Thalia. Like, I don't know if they realize they do need to be mulling for Thalia, but... I guess I counter this? Like, they would have played Adeline if they had it, maybe. I don't know, maybe if they drew a 1-drop, they play 1-drop Luminarch instead. Okay, so they drew a 1-drop. They have Needle. I guess they didn't play it on turn 1 because they didn't know what to name? I mean, I guess they're naming Shackles. But I feel like they definitely shouldn't be playing that. I mean, I did draw it, so it's something. I mean, I don't have any islands in play, so... Okay, I would love to draw land. That was 3 draws, no Serum Visions, no land, no Timeless. I do value holding up a counterspell pretty highly because they could have Adeline, they could have Thalia, and I need to counter both of those. Flowering. I don't have to counter this. In fact, I'm not going to. Can I please have a land? I would just win this game if I had a land. Am I actually going to lose this tournament because I just can't find a land? I am. Okay. Like, all I need is a land and I win. Like, I just lose now if I don't find a land. And I don't find a land. What is this? I drew 6 cards. And I didn't find a land. I didn't even find a serum until the 6th card. So okay. So all of these cards are kind of good. I guess I'm always tapping out. Like, yeah, I would just win if I found any land there. Like, I'm actually gonna lose this tournament because my opponent keeps a terrible hand and it doesn't matter because I don't find lands. And they just have Adeline now and I die. Oh, they have Luris main, okay. That doesn't do much. It's actually kind of terrible here. They probably should just be playing that as a companion. I think the only 3-drop they have is Adeline. I guess they could have, like, Brutal Cathar. Okay, I need to use Serum Vision, so I actually just die if I don't find a land, because I can't play the removal. Like, do I have to play it? I think I kind of do. Yeah, I mean, what do I do about that? Like, I'm just gonna die now. Like, I have to find it on top land or I die. Like, that is just incredibly unlucky. Like, I drew 7 cards without finding a land. And then the 8th is just not untapped. Like, yeah, I just got incredibly unlucky. I definitely should. Like, they kept a terrible hand and just did not get punished. Like, that is absolutely a match I should win. Like, I should always win that, no matter what. Like, if my hand functions, it doesn't even have to be good. It just has to function, and I win, even on the draw. Alright, I can't make top 8 anymore, I'm pretty sure. My breakers are bad. But it's round 6. I am going to mute to eat, I think. And because, it doesn't really matter. I'm not making top 8 anyway. Alright, this is game 2. I finished eating. I feel like this is not actually a good matchup for the duck. But, yeah, I wasn't really... So if timing my opponent out was relevant, I wasn't going to do it because, as I said before, the match just doesn't really matter. I'm not making top 8 regardless. But it looks like that doesn't really matter anyway. Considering how this game is going, it looks like I'm going to just win the first 2 games. Why have they not played anything? If they remove it, it's fine, because then they just still aren't playing any actual cards. Which benefits me, for sure, especially since I have Ancestral. But even if I didn't, them just not playing any creatures is so good for me. Because they just need to have creatures in play for Aura to do anything. Or for any of their cards to matter. So I guess they can play whatever they want, but they didn't play anything before, so they might just not play anything. So they are playing Doomed Necromancer, which is currently a dead card. And it's the only creature they're gonna put in play. Okay. Okay, Damn, not very relevant. Probably find a counterspell or something here. Maybe another Shackles would be nice. Okay, Exile removal. That's fine. Do I just play Gisela? Why not? This is definitely not the correct play, because they could actually do something with Aura. But whatever. I have Ride's End. I can... Wait, actually... This is actually a terrible draw. Because, I can't really answer anything. I guess a Ride's End at actual instant speed is good here. But like I couldn't really play Dig and do something after it. I couldn't really play Wrath. But yeah, Ride's End is just gonna be good here. I wonder if they attack. Tabrax, okay. Cool. So I just exile the Aura here. They don't draw a card, they can't reanimate it. I could have looked for Joust through. That may have been correct. Okay, they play another one. Yeah, I would love to have a counter spell here. How many counters am I playing? I wasn't really thinking while I was sideboarding. And I think I skipped it on the video, so it's a mystery. Okay, I think I have all 4 mana leaks. And then, do I have Absorb? I have every copy of Absorb, and that was not correct, probably. But yeah, as I said, I wasn't really thinking while I was sideboarding. Double Shackles. And this is not D-Sphere. I don't know why they're playing this over Vindicate. It's just so much worse. I mean, it's not that much worse, but, like, why? I should have waited to take something, I think. Yeah, that was probably not a great play. I definitely should have waited. Because now they can play another Aura or something. Not that it really does anything. Wow, that is quite the spyglass after I dig for double Shackles. But I guess they're never getting their Aura back, so it's fine. I mean, I can just play Wrath here. They draw 1 card. They do see that I have 3 Wraths. I don't know, I think it's very hard for me to lose from here. Like, I just have so much gas. They just have nothing. Like, they really lost this game by doing nothing in the early turns. I don't know why they did that. Because Clerics can be a very difficult deck for me to beat, but they do have to play cards to beat me. Okay, Whale is good here. I'm just gonna kill them. They chump. Okay. Yeah, I am definitely gonna win this game. Oh, that's something. They never attack, right? Because they want to block the aura. I think it doesn't really matter how many cards I exile. Because that's my second dig. And like, yes, I have search, it's just irrelevant though. Oh, that was the perfect amount. Okay, I thought they conceded because it lagged, but I'm just going to win. What can I do here? I guess I just make a timeless. And then I just attack with two things and kill them. Okay. If they attack with the vent, I do nothing. No, I just block it. Wait, what? Oh, it doesn't draw. It just gets a counter still. So they chump with Tabaraks. It does not matter what I discard. I will spectate the top 8, I think. Do a little commentary. I assume I didn't make it. Alright, so as expected, I did not make top 8. So this is the top 8. I got 15th. So there were 3 people, X and 2, at 4 and 2, that made top 8. I don't know what most people are on, so I guess I'll just watch to see. Alright, so we have Swift Workite versus DL23. So this is some kind of Legends deck. Okay, so this is Boros Legends versus probably a Living Death deck with the Alter Doomsday combo. Yes. So this card plus Doomsday Excruciator. So Doomsday Excruciator exiles all but the bottom 6 cards of each player's deck, and then you mill them by sacrificing the demon, the Doomsday Excruciator. Because it has 6 power. Okay, Cycling Archfiend, which could have been an answer to the board from Boros Legends. Okay, Duressen's still a pretty good start from Legends. What was their hand? They had 3 lands. Zergo. So they have Chain of Lightning still in hand. They have a Zergo Bell Striker. So it looks like they do have a lethal here. So Swift does need a Living Death or something. Or Doomsday. Okay, so it looks like they have it. There's a Doomsday, so that's the game. So I'm not exactly sure what Legends has in the sideboard. They could have the Remorseful Cleric as tech against Living Death. Exiles the graveyard and also gets reanimated once it gets sacrificed. I'm not sure if they really have a way to deal with the Alter Doomsday combo. I don't know if they really want to run Disenchants. They could run Needle, Pithing Needle. I kind of doubt they do. I kind of doubt they have it in their sideboard. I guess we can look for another match. Okay, so we have game 1 here. This is some kind of World Gorger Dragon deck versus whatever Goldfish Man is on. Looks like URG Cascade. They missed a land drop because of a mouse slip. It looks like they're saying. So World Gorger Dragon should be pretty favored against URG Cascade because they're a combo deck and the Teamer deck doesn't really have interaction. And the interaction they do have is pretty weak to like Duress Spears. Like if they animate Dead right now, the Teamer deck can't really do anything about it. They could win on turn 4 though, the Teamer deck. But like even a Commandeer on the Animate Dead just doesn't work here because Goldfish Man would just lose the game because they go infinite and have no way to break the loop. And they're the one who has to... Wait, would that... Wait, no. Is that how it works? Wait, so how does World Gorger work? Under their owner's control. Okay, so it looks like the combo would just go to the World Gorger player. So they would be able to kill with Piranha Marsh even if it got commandeered. But Commandeer would work if there was another creature in the graveyard other than the World Gorger, which is kind of difficult to do. Because the World Gorger deck might not be playing any other creatures, and the Cascade deck just can't do that. Okay, so I was paused for I don't know how long, but I don't think I recorded this match, but it was very quick this game. That was game 1. URG Cascade can't really do anything about the combo from World Gorger Dragon, so they just won. So I will look at the other game now. Okay, so it looks like it went very quickly with a Thalia plus some other creatures to kill quickly in game 2. So this is game 3. The Living Death player is on the play. Okay, so typical starts from both. You could see an altar, we could just see some cycles. Thalia is not the best against this deck. Like, it makes Dark Ritual worse, it makes it harder to cast Living Death. But it doesn't really do that much. It doesn't really do anything if they have Lake. That is a Thalia, though. Just cycling in response. So they could go like Lake into Living Death right now and it might end the game. Okay, yeah, if they Living Death next turn, it definitely just ends the game. And if they have... So they actually can't Dark Ritual into Living Death, because Living Death is 6 mana and Dark Ritual only makes 1. But they could Lake into it. And they could cycle into Lake. So, is that Lake? Could be. That looks like a lake. No, they're just cycling, okay. I mean, if they have a lake, they win, I think. Though, DL23 is holding stuff up, so they could have interaction. I'm not sure what they would have, but this is a... Oh, this is a languish. Okay. A living death would have ended the game, but that does something. It stops them from dying for now. I'm not sure what DL23 is holding up. I don't think they could really hold up anything. I guess they were playing around Wrath, or they just had a bunch of duplicate legends. Oh, they just have nothing? And they don't put Luris in hand. Interesting. So Living Death does get worse now, but Swift still has enough creatures in the yard where Living Death wins. Okay, just cycling. Okay, there's a flowering. Do they have anything else? No, they still have nothing else. If they had a clock, they might be able to get there, but they're doing nothing. And it's interesting, they didn't put Luris in hand. I guess they value the indestructible? I'm not sure why. So that is an Archfiend, which does potentially just win the game. If they have some things to cycle, which they probably do. It's very hard for Boros to do anything here. They could have double chain, I guess. So they just attack first. I assume Swift goes double cycle. They could also go block cycle once. Okay, cycling off Fetid Pools and probably another 2-mana cycler. Okay, so that does kind of imply that they don't have any more cyclers unless they drew into them. Though they also just don't need the Dark Ritual when they have Lake. Okay, that's 3 toughness. 3 cyclers is kind of a lot. Okay, they could have just played another Archfiend, and then they would have had to cycle a lot less to kill the things from DL23. But they decide to cycle it, and they play Alter. Interesting. And they're planning to block it, I guess. So, still no Living Death from Swift. I guess they're just trying to stall until then. So Chain Lightning would take out the Archfiend, and I wouldn't be surprised if they have it, since they've been playing nothing most of the game. Okay, so they can't play Luris now. They do put it in hand, though, and then pass. So I guess the other card is a land or something. If it was another chain, they probably would have played both already. Okay, so the game ends. And it looks like Swift wins the match. Unless DL23 somehow has tech. Very unlikely, though. They're playing a card. Purify the Grave, that is not going to do it. I don't know why they're even playing those. Okay, yeah. Swift goes to the top 4. Okay, so Teamer Cascade versus World Gorger. Nimble Obstructionist as the tech for World Gorger, wow. That could actually exile all of their permanents, but they played it instead? That's interesting. I don't know why they played that instead of just waiting for a World Gorger. Because I think some World Gorger decks just don't have any way to win outside of World Gorger. And there's really nothing they can do about this unless they have, like, some kind of Thoughtseize that isn't Duress. But I guess they wanted to pressure them since they have the Ripples in play to hurt them. But, I mean, they do have this to gain a bunch of life. Only artifacts and creatures, though. Probably not the best. I don't think they have many creatures or artifacts at all. I guess they have a bit of artifacts with the Shriekhorn defense grid. So, is this game 2 or 3? I imagine it's game 2. I wasn't watching, though. Okay, so this is game 2. World Gorger Dragon is up a game. So they have an animated in the yard, but they... And they have an unmarked grave in the yard. I'm not sure how that happened. I guess Shriekhorn. So they can put an Animate Dead in hand. There's a good chance they already have one, though. I think they're just looking for unmarked grave and maybe a way to interact with a Nimble Obstructionist or something. Maybe just hand hate in general. So Commandeer doesn't just make a bird for their opponent. Okay, Squirming Emergence on Souls of the Lost. Interesting. So they're kind of playing a... It's not really a Boneyard Worm deck, it's more of... Because they don't really have creatures for that. They're just playing Souls of the Lost because it can get big. I guess it can block while you wait for your combo and maybe win the game against these creatureless decks. I mean, this isn't a creatureless deck, but they're not playing creatures. I will look for another game since I would be very surprised if Teamer wins the match. Okay, so we have Red Deck wins versus White Weenie and Teamer Cascade versus Red Deck wins in the other matches. So this is Red Deck wins versus Mono White Humans. It does not look so good for Red Deck. We'll try to see what the record is. 1-0 to Red Deck, okay. So it definitely looks like White Weenie wins this, so probably going to be a game 3. Flowering pretty hard to beat, especially without any lands. Though it is humans and not legends, I think, so a lot of their creatures won't get the ward. The Basri making creatures could be pretty relevant. But maybe they just want to win as fast as possible before the Red Deck player can find a land. They do attack. And they pass. They really have nothing. Probably should have made a 1-1 if they have nothing. And they don't have Luris in the deck, so it could be Force of Virtue, could just be Adeline. Okay, does Castle Ardenvale make humans? Yes. So this could make a cat to block. Though they can't use Castle Ardenvale if they do that now. That's why they maybe should have done that last turn. And they don't attack this turn. That's interesting timing. Because now they can't use Castle Ardenvale if they use that. Okay, another Stromkirk. So blocking pretty important. So I guess they're just not attacking here. Which means that the white player can just make a 1-1 or a 2-2 with Ardenvale. The game could end somewhat quickly if they... Well, it looks like the white weenie player has lands. I assume that's why they aren't really playing cards, which means that they could just activate the cave and attack for 10 here, and then win the next turn with cave, pretty much regardless of what red does. Though the red deck player could like double block the Basri, though it's not really a winning play for the red deck player. But it looks like maybe they don't have a land. Okay, Dauntless Bodyguard on the Basri. They attack with the 2-2. So it looks like they're just activating Basri here. So the red deck player can attack if they have a Burst Lightning or draw land and have an Incinerate. Okay, but yeah, White is just going to win. Okay, so this is the Teamer Cascade versus Mono Red. Seems like a very good matchup for the Price of Progress deck against the deck with very few bait. It is probably game 2, with the red deck player being up a game. I don't know if they main deck pop, but if the Teamer Cascade player lost even without their opponent playing pop, then yeah, it's really just hopeless against pop. They can't even commandeer it, so there's really nothing they can do other than try to not play very many lands. And have some kind of clock. I don't think they can really gain life. I guess they could side in like Forbid. That's not great against red deck though. And they're missing their 5th land drop. I assume they actually are missing that. Because, I mean, they're dead to pop anyway, right? So if they have a non-basic land, they probably just play it. So they're probably just actually not having any lands in hand. Okay, so they answer the damage on the board. They probably don't have an answer to a creature though, so a creature with haste, another Razorkin or something, could be a bit of a problem. Incinerate to the face. So Price of Progress pretty much just ends it. Another Incinerate. So it's probably just over, and they have a pop. And I assume that is the match. Yep. So red deck is in top 4. Okay, here's oh, it just ended. Teamer Cascade versus the World Gorger is going to game 3. Here we have the White Weenie versus red deck in game 3. So currently in top 4 is the Alter Doomsday Living Death deck from Swift Warkite. Red deck wins from So Long Gay Bowser. And then either World Gorger Dragon or Teamer Cascade, and the winner of this red deck or White Weenie. Did they just kill their own Thalia? That's what it looked like. Just to grow the Thalias through time? I'm not sure about that. I wasn't really paying that much attention, but it looked like they just played a Thalia while they already had one in play. And yeah, it does look very good for red deck right now, because they can probably just burn them out. Like White Weenie can't really answer the Razorkin, and they don't have a fast enough clock to beat it. So really just 2 burn spells from red deck should end it. Okay, there's the removal. They need another one though. Okay, so they're double attacking, but that lets red deck attack with a Razorkin. I guess they're maybe chumping. They could get a kill next turn, turn 6. Why are they just have all Thalias and they're playing them to make Thalia's Lieutenant bigger. Oh, and they're blocking with it, I guess, but it has first strike. I don't know. I feel like it would have been better pre-combat to do 1 more damage, because they're just chumping, right? So they're at 3 health. I don't think the White Weenie player can win next turn. So okay, yeah, it's just over. So we have 2 red decks in the top 4, and the Living Death Excruciator, and then either Teamer Cascade or World Gorger. Okay, so World Gorger Dragon lost because their ability... So when World Gorger tried to return cards, they played a Stifle, which essentially meant that all of their cards stayed in exile. So yeah, it's probably just going to be won by Teamer Cascade. Definitely not what I expected from this matchup. But I did think they were on Dimir, which would have meant they had more access to like duress and stuff, which probably would have been really helpful in this matchup. Just being able to cantrip into duress, another hand hate, and spell pierces maybe. But yeah, it's probably just going to be won by Teamer now. It is still possible that Chief Fireball goes land to land, maybe has a way to win with World Gorger on the board, and then just plays Anime Dead. And Goldfish Man doesn't have an answer. But they did just play a See the Truth for 3 cards, so they might just have another answer. I don't know that they need to hold up an answer because I'm not really sure if this World Gorger deck can win from hand, or if they need like a Engine Rat in the graveyard, or a Piranha Marsh in play. But they currently don't have a land drop. And Goldfish Man is just going to play Nimble Obstructionist, which maybe means they have another one. It should mean that they have some kind of interaction still in hand. I assume they aren't going to get rid of their only interaction for World Gorger just for that. But yeah, it looks like Teamer is going to take this one. If they have Whale, they can kill next turn while holding up all their mana. If they have Bloodbraid Challenger, they can just get lethal next turn by tapping out. Shriekhorn, I mean, it is a win con, so if they draw a Swamp and already have... Alright, so we have here Alter Doomsday versus Red Deck. I assume Red Deck has very little interaction for the Living Death deck. Probably their only strategy is just kill them as quickly as possible. They can maybe play Artifact 8. I don't know if they have any. I assume they have something, which would stop this combo, but they don't have Artifact 8 here. Against Living Death, maybe they can like get Burn to go over the top after a Living Death resolves. But yeah, it's definitely not a good matchup for Red Deck here. So Swift probably will be going to the finals. And the other match we have Red Deck versus Teamer Cascade. I don't think that has started yet. Okay, so it has started. Red Deck versus Teamer Cascade. I believe the sideboarding for the other match ended pretty quickly too, but so I'm not sure if they're playing main deck Pop. It's probably a good matchup for Red Deck regardless, because the Teamer deck doesn't have life gain, it doesn't really have ways to stop burn. It kind of deals with the board slowly, so like Lelia is weak to burn, so yeah, it just seems like a very good matchup for Red Deck regardless. Okay, so this is the... Okay, so game 2, Swift won on turn 3. Okay. Sulfuric Vortex, yeah, not so good in this matchup, just too slow. And yeah, it looks like Swift is going to be going to the finals. Okay, so Swift Warkite is going to be playing Living Death against whoever wins this game. Most likely Red Deck wins. And if it is Red Deck wins, I mean, if it's either of these decks, Swift probably... I think Living Death has a very favored matchup into both of these decks. Like Red Deck, I mean, it can race, I guess, but it doesn't have interaction, so combo definitely wins that matchup. Though, you know, being able to race is definitely a very big deal. Teamer Cascade, so they have like Broken Wings. They have some answers to the artifact. They have answers to the activated and triggered abilities, so they could counter the Doomsday ETB ability, or they could counter the Alter ability. So they have some interaction. I'm not sure about Living Death. They could play Ill-Timed Explosion to remove the board. I'm not really sure what else. They have sideboard counterspells as well. But definitely a good matchup for Living Death. Okay, so Red Deck here. Main phase Pop. I don't like that play. I feel like it would be a lot better to wait for the opponent to do something like that, because they're probably going to tap out. They have to answer this board. So I would definitely wait for that to happen before playing Pop. But they probably just take it anyway. Like, Lelia has to block right now. And there's just so much value off these Beaumont Couriers. Like, they just sack the one that gets blocked, and then they get 3 cards. They play any burn spells they have first, but don't tap out. You know, a mountain if they have one. So yeah, it looks like it's pretty over here. This is game 1, right? I'm pretty sure this is yeah, this is definitely game 1. So, not the match, but it is very hard for Teamer to win this. Okay, so not attacking, I assume. I mean, they could attack, maybe? Probably not. Because of removal, it could be a steaming sauna. You don't really want to open yourself up to that. But yeah, I'm not really sure how Teamer ever gets out of this. They don't even have green mana for a Broken Wings. Okay, they can answer a Beaumont. But yeah, they're just going to die to the Vortex. And literally any burn spell as well. Like, if they don't have a burn spell in these 2 cards, they can just draw 3 more. And even if they don't find a burn spell, Goldfish Man has to have a Broken Wings or something. Or I guess a Cascade could end it pretty quickly. Assuming no jump blockers, which, not a great assumption. Okay. So, what are they choosing here? I feel like all of these are somewhat reasonable. Just creating the rule. Maybe forcing a block. They attack with both, interesting. So, this could lose them the game. This could actually lose them the game, because Goldfish Man can go block the Beaumont Courier and then play a Shardless Agent to have lethal after playing a green land. Yeah, that was their only out. They're just dead now. I mean, maybe they didn't have either a green land or a Shardless, so it was impossible. But yeah, there's just nothing they can do now. So it's 1-0, right? So, Price of Progress already in the deck, but definitely going to be a 4 of in the post-board games, and that is just very difficult for a Teamer to deal with. Okay, game 2. Teamer is on the play, which is pretty important to be able to get some creatures in play before taking too much damage from red deck's creatures. And maybe if they have an answer to pop, they could get those up fairly early. Though I really doubt they have a good answer to pop. Okay. Wait, so Goldfish Man is mulliganing pretty far, and that's already the losing side. So, not great for them. It looks like... Okay, they both mulled. So it's possible that they're both mulling to 5. Though if someone takes this long on a mulligan, it's usually because they're deciding what to keep, rather than whether to mulligan or not. Okay, Barbarian Ring. That is not a good sign for red deck wins. Because that kind of implies that they don't have a mountain, because they would have played it first. A Vexing Devil also implies that they don't have a 1-drop, so they let it resolve. I assume they have a Steaming Sauna then. But this could be a one lander with only one drop in hand, which is not a great sign for red deck. What is this? It's a sorcery repeal, but it costs 1 mana. Okay, I mean, not the worst in a deck that can only play 3 drops and up. It's an answer to a 1-drop for a deck that doesn't interact early. Okay, so they didn't have 1 land, they just had 2 Barbrings. Probably not that relevant, but it's possible that Price of Progress does so much damage to them that they could die. That's really only possible if Goldfish Man is attacking, though, so probably not the most likely. Okay, they don't have a creature. That is definitely not great for them. So it's just Vexing Devil. So they don't have another 1-drop. They don't have a very good 2-drop too, probably. So that's a good sign for Teamer. So they don't have mountains, or lands in general, and they don't have cheap creatures, so they probably just have burn spells right now. It could be Sulfuric Vortex, it could be Price of Progress, it could just be Chain Lightnings and Incinerates. But that is definitely better for Teamer than cheap creatures. Especially since they have to just go See the Truth instead of playing a 3-drop. And wait, what? They let Vexing Devil stay in play. So now they're going to take way more than 4 damage from it. They're going to take 4 and have to deal with a 4/3, rather than just taking 4. Probably not a good play if they didn't already have something in hand. And I can't imagine they expected to find something off See the Truth. It's exactly the roadside blowout, right? Okay, so this is 6 damage. If they had it last turn, they probably should have played that over the Vexing Devil. But for whatever reason, Goldfish Man decided to let Vexing Devil live. So the 4/3 is actually way better. So yeah, 1 Price of Progress pretty much ends it. So they could have like an ill time to go to 10 and clear the board. Okay, yeah, they're probably just dead. They have to use a See the Truth. They can't have a Roaring Furnace. They could have a Whale. Okay. It's not nothing. But they do seem pretty dead here. Especially since Red deck probably has at least 1 burn spell. Probably multiple. And a haste creature is also a burn spell here. Razorkin Needlehead. So probably a Whale on the Vexing Devil. I guess they were trying to See the Truth. Wait, no. They couldn't have seen the Truth into a land, an untapped land, and played Whale. And they didn't even have a Whale. Okay. So Pop is just lethal here. And it is going to be Red deck versus Living Death in the finals. Alright, it is the finals. Swift Warkite versus Solonge Bauza. Living Death Alter Doomsday versus Red deck wins. So, definitely a good matchup for Living Death. Definitely helps Red deck wins that they're on the play. Okay, Swift mulligans. Fucking hell. Alright, so Swift mulligans to 6. Okay, that does not look great for Red deck. Turn 1 Chain Lightning is not what you want to see, because that is just not going to be a fast Goldfish. But the 2-drop could be really good here. Razorkin Needlehead. Okay, that's really good against cycling. Okay, cycling. No alter, so no turn 3 kill. Could be a turn 3 cycle something, play Living Death, which would probably just win Swift the game. But yeah, it definitely looks like red deck has a chance here. They choose to loot rather than get damage. Interesting. And they don't discard a creature. I guess they have a lot of lands. So does Swift have something right now? He doesn't really need it. Okay, a cycle. I mean, okay, there's Lake, so that could be either Living Death. That could, I mean, it could be Living Death, not really much else. It could be an Archfiend, I guess. Okay, that could just end it. It's not necessarily over, but that is a 2-turn clock. And stacking red deck's library definitely helps. So they really need a lot of burn spells here. A creature to chump block could be something. Bring it to a 3-turn clock. They do need more than 3 burn spells to get there, though. So that does seem pretty unlikely. Vexing Devil would be decent here, I guess. So I guess looting with that. Okay. So it's no longer okay. It wasn't a 2-turn clock anyway with the just one creature, but my career is a dead card here. Well, one of them was a dead card, not necessarily both. They could have brought it to a 4-turn clock by killing Architects and then blocking the Vantasaur. So, Bomat could be used just to draw 1 card, potentially. Actually, I think Swift... No, Swift didn't cycle a card. Interesting. That could have killed both of those creatures with Archfiend. Interesting. And not blocking is really strange there. Because now if Swift draws a card, he can just kill both of these creatures, and it's a 2-turn clock again. So probably should have blocked one of them with the Charming Scoundrel. But yeah, they're probably just dead anyway. Okay, Vexing Devil. It blocks. But it is just a 2-turn clock from Archfiend. Red deck could potentially kill kill 2 of the creatures. Like, double chain, or chain plus burst, burst plus burst. Kill the Archfiend. And then block the Architects, or maybe even block the Vantasaur with Vexing Devil. And then, like, chain or incinerate the Architects. And then it would be somewhat difficult to play Living Death, because it would trigger the Scoundrel and the... Well, that's really it. Also Razorkin, but Archfiend of Ifnir could probably just deal with that. Okay, Swift decided not to cycle to make it a 2-turn clock before. That's interesting. I guess he assumed it was going to be a 3-turn clock regardless, because it's so easy to just play a creature. But now it is just going to be a 2-turn clock. Any cycler here is lethal and forces an incinerate on a creature. But I guess he just doesn't have a cycler. So what is in Swift's hand? Just lands? Maybe some altars, doomsdays, living deaths. Doomsday? Wait, is this Altar Doomsday? Okay, so I think Swift had a cycler, but decided to go for the Altar Doomsday kill anyway. Maybe? I don't know. Okay, so we are going to game 2. Okay, so red deck is on the play, like they were in game 1. Stromkirk, not the fastest, but it is a threat that isn't a burn spell. Swift just cycling a force, so Razorken would be great. They had it last time and it wasn't enough though. Beaumont, they don't have a second land. That's really bad for them. It's really hard to have a fast kill when you don't have lands. You really want 3 lands. But yeah, 1 land is just not enough for a fast kill. But it's not too late for them to find a second land. Okay, so if they have Artifact Hate, then possibly Swift doesn't have a Living Death, and Artifact Hate just wins. Vexing Devil. So it is 4 damage here. But that is not going to be enough. Swift potentially just has a Lake into win here. That looks like lethal. And Swift wins a PD Major finally. This is his first one, I'm pretty sure. With Living Death. Alright, congrats to Swift. Alright, so Swift ended up winning the tournament. So this is my list. I went 4-2, missed on breakers because I lost round 1. I had a very frustrating loss in round 5 where my opponent kept a terrible hand, and I just didn't draw a single land. Which is not the way I wanted to lose. I would much rather lose because my Legends opponent goes like the Kythian into Thalia into Flowering, and I can't beat that. But, yeah. We'll probably bring this deck to the 500 as well. I doubt much will change after the supplemental rotation. I still think this is one of the best decks in the format. But yeah, it definitely loses to Legends. So, Swift Warkite won with Altar Doomsday with Living Death. So it's the same deck that was in Season 35, pretty much. I don't think there's really anything different. Maybe the sideboard. I don't know if Defense Grid was legal. I think it was. It's really just the exact same deck. Well, I guess it had different ways of making mana. Like instead of Lake, it had Crypt of Agadim or something. But yeah, a lot of 2-0s here. 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. So only 3 games dropped in the entire tournament. Not really what I would expect from this kind of deck. I would kind of expect it to lose some post-board games pretty often. So, what were the matchups? So we have Boros Legends, Bard class, red deck wins, mono white humans, red deck, red deck, red deck? Or is this Boros Legends? Okay, so those Boros Legends. So a lot of aggro matchups, which is really what this deck wants to see. Aggro, so what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 aggro decks, Temur Cascade, and the World Gorger Dragon deck. Okay, yeah. I do want to see how many aggro decks there actually were. So it's probably pretty hard to tell, because they're all different. So 4 Boros Legends. Was there not a lot of Blue-White Legends? Okay, this is all Boros, or Blue-White Legends. Less Blue-White than Boros, interesting. There are a lot more Blue-White Legends in tournaments recently than Boros. So it's interesting to see that flip. I do think Boros is stronger, though. So like 7 Legends. There's definitely more than that, though. So I don't know the exact numbers. They're too spread out among the colors. But second place, Red Deck wins. So I don't think Red Deck wins is that good of a deck. And I don't think this list is the best. Like, I don't think Vexing Devil is a very good card. I'm kind of surprised that it did so well. I would have thought it would lose to pretty, like, not pretty hard, but like, I would think it's losing to Legends. And it would just lose to every combo deck as well. But I guess most people are just playing either Legends or Teamer Cascade or whatever. And there's not a lot of actual combo or anything. And then in top 4 we had another red deck. And how much red deck was there? It looks like those were the only 2 red deck players in the entire tournament. And they both made top 4. Interesting. So this very similar list. It might be close to the exact same. I think the sideboard is a bit different. They both played 4 Vexing Devil, 4 Stromkirk, I think. Pretty much the same creatures. Oh yeah, same main deck. I don't know about the sideboard. And then for the rest of the other top 4 deck, Teamer Cascade. 2 in the top 8. How much was there? 4 total? Okay, that's pretty good top 8 conversion rate. I don't think the deck is that good though. Not because of red deck, but because I feel like it just loses a combo pretty hard. But the thing with this tournament was there was hardly any combo. Like Swift played the not Hive Mind, Alter Living Death deck, but there wasn't a whole lot of combo other than that. So there's some Hive Mind a little bit, but yeah, not very much combo for a combo heavy season. How many people played Nadu? No Nadu in the top 8, by the way. So Nadu, both Simic. Is this? Oh, this is not the. So Tigrex, I assume Unctus, and then some like Hardened Scales thing. Was there anyone on the Bant version? No. Okay, wow, only 2 Nadu players and no one on the Bapis Bant version. Interesting. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised. So much like so little combo. I'm just surprised about. Seems like a lot of aggro. Yeah. So Azorius Control had. Looks like 1 there. It should be Esper. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Azorius Control players. That's kind of a lot. That is definitely more than I expected. So, yeah. Interesting tournament. That's definitely not what I expected in terms of decks in the tournament. But I'm not surprised that the Living Death deck won. I think that deck is definitely one of the best decks. And it's very well positioned when everyone is playing aggro. So yeah, congrats to Swift for their first major tournament win. And I'll probably make a video after the supplemental rotation. I might go over the cards that change there, but I'm not sure if enough is changing to warrant a video, so I might just make a gameplay video sometime after that.